Will it bring back all the pain? How do I forget that name? Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Hello everyone. I see y'all in the comments. We're just waiting for a couple people to get here. We got a couple things going on. Right now, we have Mr. MC1, we have Dr. Rolex, and we do have Veve NFT comics that are all coming in on their headset, on their Apple Vision Pros. They're going to be showing us. I'll do the screen shares. What exactly they're going to be seeing. What we're going to be seeing exactly what they're seeing. If anyone has ever seen, there's two viral videos right now. One is a guy wearing his Apple Vision Pro headset. He's walking around. It's like he's on drugs. It's like he's on New York City and he's on acid. He's looking at things that aren't there. It's wild. And then there's another guy that straight up, like, he's getting pulled over because he's driving. Granted, he's driving his Tesla with the Apple Vision headset on. And obviously, with a Tesla, it's going to be a lot safer because of the full self-driving, but that's not 100%. That guys, don't do that. That is very dangerous. This week, I do expect more viral videos to come out of people being absolutely ridiculous with that. But before we get into it, let's go and take a look at the OMI token and see what that's been doing. I'm on Immutable X right now, so I'm going to go and switch that to the OMI. Down about 2.93%, so down about 3% on the day. But despite that, we are down to the 00068. We did have a crazy day yesterday. We were down, again, like 00064. We go up past the 0007s. Then we have a big fall off where we're down to 0006, 0063-ish. And people are like, what just happened? OMI just fell off a cliff. I was like, guys, that's just what happens. We wound up going up a little bit, but on the day we're still at the 00068 right now. Welcome, Mr. MC1, to the stage. Say hello to Dashi. I see a black box, and his mic is off. So I guess he is still setting up. While he sets up, by all means, come on whenever you're ready. So OMI on the day has about $1.6 million market cap. You good? Hello? We can neither see nor hear you. I'm just wondering if that has anything to do with the headset or because I feel like my connection's all right. You might have to go back out and go back in. Yeah, he's going back out and go back in. So $1.6 million not market cap volume over on the day, which again is that great compared to something like Flow, but it's also an NFTs, also has some cool IP. No, Flow is like 100 million a day. So are we great compared to something like that? No, but is it improvement over the what is it the 600,000 we have on a normal day? Yes, it is a big improvement on that, and that's been happening more and more. Flow actually only has about 22 million in trading volume, so I digress. I take that back. Let's go over to see how OMI compared to the rest of the market. I think everyone's pretty flat on the day, a little bit up. Bitcoin's up about 0.5%, Ethereum up about 0.8%, BNB pretty flat, XRP up 3.4%, Lido Stake up 0.7%, Cardano up 1%, Avalanche up 1%. Avalanche has been killing it lately, really solidifying themselves over in the top 10. Let's get Mr. MC1 back on stage. Still black screen. Still no sound. I don't know. Is like the Apple headset compatible? So I'll go and I'll send you a picture of what you look like here. I'll send that to your Twitter or X, your X.com. Do you guys still call it Twitter? I still call it Twitter every now and then when I forget. Anyway, I'll send that to you on the X on what I'm getting there. So just again, let us know what we can do better, Mr. MC1, to help get you on. We might have to redo this, and instead of doing StreamYard, maybe just YouTube, and we could share it. I'm not sure how to. I feel like this has never been done before. This is probably going to be the first time that is happening on YouTube, right? At least in this way. So anyway, we'll go to the rest of that. That was the rest of the top 10. Any other stuff that I've already bought? I did buy a little bit bump for anyone that hasn't been here for the last couple of days. It wasn't a lot. I bought like I bought like $400 in bump. Wasn't a ton. I have about $1,000 in flow. So again, just trying to slowly diversify a little bit out here. I also got a scar on the Veve app. The scar, it was like, I remember months ago, a buddy of mine's like, hey, which one do you think is super undervalued? And it was like a scar number like 45 or 43 or something, and he got for like $250, $300. And I thought that was really good for a scar, because in general he was, I think he's a secret rare, so he's like $70 or $80 at the floor. Yeah, $77 right now. Oh, Mr. MC1 can't hear you or see myself. All right, hang on. Well, we have Veve NFT comment. What's going on? Can you hear me? All right, hang on. Well, we have Veve NFT comment. What's going on?
Hey, can you hear me all right?
I hear myself in your background. Are you hearing me right now?
All right.
Yeah, I feel like this is delayed. I do see some cool stuff in your background though. One second here.
You can see me, but I don't know if I can hear you.
Oh, well, I can see and hear you perfectly, 100%.
Okay.
Can you hear? Is it delayed? Can you hear me? Meow. Meow. Say meow if you hear me. Okay, he's not saying meow.
1 second.
Okay, we are we are slowly going to get the tongue in the corner of the screen. All right, let's get Mr. MC1 back on the stage. Still a black box. Mr. MC1 apparently cannot hear or see me either. Can't hear you or see myself. Yeah, that's so strange. I hope you got my message. Yeah, he did. Thank you, Wes. Thank you for being a member. Meow, meow, meow. This hey, what's up, Stan? So anyway, like I was saying, the scar, he's $77 at the floor right now. So he should be about 150 in general for his sub 100s. And then, you know, the sub 50s should be, I would say, maybe about 300. So I saw the number 46 for like 168, immediately bought it. I am kind of overvaluing a little bit. I put it up on sale for 350, but I know where a bunch of those other sub 50s are. So that does take away a decent amount of them. Figure about a third of them are kind of locked up. I have no issue selling mine for 350. Do I believe that's going to be a couple thousand in the bull run? Absolutely. But I feel like I can do, we're going to put that over there. But I just feel like I can do a little more with that. I'm going to open up a window. I can just do more with those gems, because I don't really want to put a ton more money into the app right now when I can go and just really just buy more crypto. But those gems would really be used for, what they'd be used for. They'd be used for the next Marvel Mighty set we should get in the next couple weeks. I don't, that might be announced this week, might be announced next week, but we should get that new Marvel Mighty set before the end of the month. When does that announce? They're really announcing things usually very quickly. The announcements that they're doing are, I would say, they're announcing things about a week out now. So if you go to the VeveX.com, the VeveX page, you can go on and see what they have here. They retweeted that. Yesterday, they came out and announced the Year of the Dragon, which is actually going to be a week from today. That's the Chinese New Year. We're currently in the, oh, hello. Yellow. Can you hear or see me? This is so strange. I've never had this before.
Yeah, I can hear and see you fine now.
Oh, okay, cool beans. You are, so is this your like 3D avatar?
Yeah, this is what they call your persona. So when you set it up, you kind of turn the thing around, point it at yourself, and it makes kind of a digital representation of you. Yeah.
That is, I literally just got to chill. That is wild. Have you talked to anyone else in this, like as their digital persona as well?
Yeah, Sanjay and I have done kind of a back and forth. Yeah.
Do you get like Uncanny Valley vibes a little bit?
I've not. When you're wearing it, the timing of the timing of kind of the real world around you seems so close that
Sanjay, you look
I
like
haven't.
Wolverine, brown Wolverine with the hair and the was that the flock of seagulls hair? I'm sorry, VV comic, VV NFT comic. I was just the ADD. Sorry, keep going.
All right, we're good.
Now, compared to other headsets I've worn, like the Quest 2, I think the reality's so in sync. Like I haven't felt any of the disorienting feelings or anything like that
Right.
when
No, just
wearing it.
cool.
It does a little better job. Yeah.
Very nice. What's the longest that you've worn it for?
I just got it yesterday morning, and probably over the course of yesterday, wore it like 3 or 4 hours, just kind of checking everything out.
Okay.
The only thing is, you do notice like something's pressing on your face, right? So around your
Okay.
eyes, from wearing the headset. I haven't been bothered by the weight of it. Maybe that's because I spent too many years wearing football helmets or something. That doesn't bother me. But you do feel like under, on your cheekbones, like when something's been sitting on there a while,
Yeah.
you kind of notice it afterwards. But all in all, for a first gen device from Apple, I'm pretty impressed. I'd say the most amazing thing to me is, I was skeptical about the eye tracking. Could you really look at something and tap, and is it that precise? And it is. I mean, it down to the pixel seems to
Oh
know
my God.
exactly what you're looking at, and all you do is a little pinch, and it knows what you're looking at. That part's like magic.
Dude, Apple don't miss. Oh my God. So yesterday you had, and I don't know how much of this was because of the success of the Apple Vision Pro and selling out so many things, and people the hype for it. But Facebook or Meta had a really good earnings call, and
Yeah.
it jumped up like 20%. And they have a run rate of about 25 billion per year that they've been putting into this metaverse thing here, their project. So by the end of the decade, they'll have spent about $250 billion. Do
Yeah.
you think that the Quest 3, whenever Facebook's comes out, do you think that that could be better or equal to Apple? Is that even possible to be better than this right now?
Well, it's going to be interesting. It reminds me of what happened with smartphones and things like that. Apple claims that they have literally thousands of patents, right, tied to this thing. They've been working on it for a long time. I think Facebook just went to market sooner with a lower end device, first mover. Right, see how that does.
Yeah.
But I think Apple went a different route. This is really like wearing a computer on your face. I mean, it's a different. Hey, I can see so it's a different
Yeah.
concept entirely than what Quest did. I mean, literally, you can look at your Mac, and with a tap, boom, your screen turns off on your computer, and it becomes like room size in front of you. I mean, you can, like, I'm in a browser right now. I've got Veve over here to my left. Like, you can see kind of what Sanjay's doing. You can do drops on this
Yeah.
thing.
He's
And although some
literally,
people were
that's insane.
disappointed that it didn't natively support the AR, which doesn't really surprise me because the
Yeah.
camera systems and everything are so different on this than what you have on phones and tablets. That's going to probably take a little bit of work to get that to be done. But the fact that you can open the app, you can go in the showrooms, like I can open my showroom and like walk right up to it, and it will fill your whole field of view, right? And it
Yeah.
looks like you're kind of in the showroom. It's just not in augmented reality. But for a day one kind of thing, yeah, very interesting. I think this space is certainly moving in quite a direction. And it
Yeah.
reminds me of how I felt back in 2007 with the iPhone. Like, hey, something's going on here, you know?
You feel it. Oh, that's so good to hear. I think with so in general, the VV, like the AR, was not really designed to run on the Vision Pro as of yet. But I have this feeling that, or we know that they have, let's say, between 80 and 100 employees, right? And what? Granted, some of them, not all of them, are going to be tech based. Not all of them are going to be coding all and building all this stuff, but a good amount of them are. Figure after their first year in 2021, they can go and hire a lot of really key people from good companies. They can go to somewhere like Philippines, Indonesia, get some cheap labor, use Copilot, have this like 3x lever for these guys running these teams. They could really have a new interface. They could have something really spectacular, I would say, within the next couple months in conjunction with this Apple Vision Pro that works on it. Now, again, it's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I've been reflecting. I got a lot of feedback from some of the clips and things I posted yesterday, and it does remind me of a lot of what the feeling was back in '07. I was one of the nerds who waited in line all day at a mall, right, to get the first iPhone. It was, some might remember, it was overpriced. Like for the entry level model, it was like $650. Was back in 2007 for a phone was considered crazy. And some people might forget, if you were day one and you went and bought one of the phones, Apple got so much flack that a couple weeks later they issued you like $100 gift card saying, sorry, we overpriced this phone. And it was, and in the US it was only on AT&T. The activation process was a mess. It took some people 2 and 3 days to kind of get through the activation. So it was like, wow. People were like, see, Apple, this overpriced thing, it doesn't have an app store. The phone could not even record video. I still have my original iPhone. It could take pretty crappy, grainy stills. It could not even record video, right?
Wow.
And so you think about that inauspicious start for what we know as the iPhone and think of what's happened. This is starting miles ahead of that. I mean, miles ahead of that. I admit, I was a skeptic. I'm like, I'm seeing these demos. That person's looking at that little X and tapping their fingers, and it really is getting that. Yes,
That
it
is so
gets it.
wild.
It's like perfect. Like, and so for that to be that good out of the box,
Yeah.
it's only going to get better, and the size and weight of these things is only going to, reduce. The power is going to increase. Developers like Veve and others are going to move forward. And I will say though, there's two things I think are mind blowing. One, Apple on their Apple TV homepage has like these immersive examples. One of them blew me away. Like you can go into this Alicia Keys rehearsal session, and I'm like, do I smell her perfume? Man, she's like right. It feels like you're like right, like she's like right there with you. It is unbelievable, and it's fully immersive. You can look to your left, right. It looks like you're literally in the room, and the sound. I know you can't see the headset on me now. Like I'm not wearing any headphones, but however they do the beam forming from the device into your ear, like it is, whoa! Like it
That's
really
people.
feels like you are there. And then the other thing, I've loved comics on Veve. I've tried, putting them in AR. I've tried my phone. I've tried my tablet. Everything. This is the first time I really have been able to enjoy reading the comics, because you can open it, even though it's not an AR, it's the app. I get it, but you can blow the thing up to where it's like floor to ceiling and literally walk up to the comic and just kind of like, like read back and forth. And then to change the page, you just look up at the little arrow and like, touch your fingers, and the
Oh
next
my
page
God.
is up there. Like to me, that from a Veve standpoint, that's been the biggest, like, wow, the comics and how you can read them in this spatial computing environment. Let me pause. I'd love to get Sanjay his
I need more
chance
OMI.
to say.
Wait, Asante, before you get going, do you have access to Viviverse? Have you gone on and gone in there yet, Thomas?
I do not have access to Viviverse. I wish I did. I know Sanjay may have
You will
tried it,
really like
but he
comics in the
probably
Viviverse.
can't say anything about what he's seen.
I'll just say you're gonna really like comics in the Viviverse. On to you, Sanjay. Let's go. What's your experience?
Well, apologies. Seems like I've had a little trouble kind of setting it up. I had to go to like this eye doctor for a little bit here in the morning, so I just made it 10 minutes in time. I was trying to set things up. But yeah, so first of all, thank you, Randy, for hosting. Tony, myself, and I think Rolex might join at some point in time. Cool Mo also wanted to join. He's got his Apple Vision Pro. But yeah, I agree with a lot of the thoughts that Tony had. So the first thing I think, that I wanted to share is when you think about, back in the day, everything was on a green screen and you were typing. And if you didn't type it and hit enter, it didn't work. And then suddenly there was point and click, right? With Apple, you could, and with Windows, you could point to something and click and it worked, right? That was pretty amazing, right? Suddenly it changed how we interacted with computers. To me, this what I experienced yesterday was sort of in that same light, where with your eyeballs, literally with your eyeball, you look at a keyboard and it picks up, that it just has a shadow around that alphabet. So you know that you're looking at the right thing you want to pick. And then, you click. This is how you click. And you don't have to click at it. You just keep the system knows you're looking there, but your hand is clicking somewhere, on your lap or wherever it is. You just kind of put it, you just gently, you keep your hand in a relaxed posture and you click. So that experience, forget anything else, forget immersiveness and any of this other stuff, right? The fact that you can look with your eyeballs and the system is so precise that exactly on a keyboard where there's so many letters, you're looking at a letter, it lights up, and then you click. Now, that was amazing. To me, that was just the precision, the accuracy. And I was typing at a very fast speed, like with my eyes just looking click, 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 click. That hand-eye coordination is pretty amazing. And then, you suddenly realize, well, I don't really need to do that. I just, you click onto one of those search bars, and then you have the speaker icon there. And you click the speaker and you speak. And
Oh, that's awesome.
So now you don't even need to look and type and this. So you basically, it's a combination of speech and click. So you don't even really need to do text that much. So that was the first thing that's mind blowing. I mean, that whole experience. And I think the best way to kind of just get into that is just go to the Apple Store, do the demo. They'll walk you, they'll navigate through how, and literally when you want to shut a window, there's a X at the bottom and there's a bar. So just look at the X and this is closed. Look at it, click X. And then there's a way in which you can expand it. And even if you want to scroll, you just do this, move up or down, left or right.
And by the way, that works with the Veve. That works with the Veve collectibles too. Like if you are in the showroom and like say you want to manipulate Iron Man, you can just look at Iron Man, do that little gesture, and he'll go through all his poses and stuff. And so, although it's not an AR, it is manipulatable and everything using the Vision Pro's. Hey, Rolex. It is manipulatable. Like other things, once you're in the app, the only limitation is it doesn't have the engineering yet with the camera system so that you can use the Vision Pro to put stuff in AR. But in the app, like I can do a drop right here. By the way, I'm sitting in a chair, kind of partially reclined. You guys are like taking up my whole ceiling in the room. Like, it's like I'm in an IMAX Randy chat right now, but you guys can't see that, unfortunately, from my side.
How are you on this stream? Where are you? Like, did you use are you from your Vision Pro? You're doing this?
So what I did is I got this link Randy sent, and I opened it on X on the Vision Pro, and then I put that link in the browser, and that let me join using the Vision Pro as the camera. Yeah.
You look like you're an A. Whatever you're using, man, makes you look like you're AI, bro. I don't know what it is, bro.
You'll get to do this. This is your persona. So when you get it, it'll tell you to take the device off and like point at yourself, move your head around to get your facial expression. So you're not actually seeing me. What you're seeing is a fully digital representation of everything I'm doing through the Vision Pro. So this is not a photo or not a video, like it's fully rendering in real time as I'm talking to you guys.
That's why I'm like, dude, why does Tony look like he's a freaking robot, like an AI bot? Like, it's crazy, man. Like, this is a really good promo for Apple because you literally look like you're an Apple AI bot.
It's like a Ready Player One avatar. Like, yeah, you're not seeing, there's no camera pointed at me right now. Like, it's all from, rendering.
Yeah, that is sick.
I'm still trying to figure out how to do this now, but yesterday what happened was Tony and I FaceTimed. So I put on my Apple Vision Pro and I FaceTimed Tony, and then I shared my screen with him inside the Vision Pro, and we went through my stuff, and then he shared his screen and we went through his stuff. So I wanted to do that today, but I don't know how that's going to work if Tony's already using, all his camera and all this stuff in his thing. So maybe Tony, if let me figure this out. So because I've got my camera this is what took me time. I wanted to get this facing the, so when I put on my Vision Pro, you can see whatever's inside my field of vision, you can see on the TV,
Yeah, we saw that. I saw when you were setting it up, what you were looking at was on your TV.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see if we can get Tony to open up his Veve app, and then you can see it on my TV.
Yeah, when I first joined, I think it was while you were popping off. I did join that way, and people could see exactly what you're talking about, but they couldn't.
Hear me, right? See me?
It was the audio. Like it would just create a feedback loop on the audio. So I
it's
switched.
automatically like I got like freaking, I think 8 devices, Apple devices in this room here. So when I clicked the AirPlay, I don't know which device was going to which device. Man. It was just like a freaking nightmare.
First world problem.
Figure that out. So then I went and picked out my wife's iPad and brought it upstairs. So thankfully, at least this damn thing doesn't pop off when I'm putting everything. But okay, let's try this. Sorry guys, I mean, it's not going to be a smooth experience for anybody because we're going to try to figure out how to share. So Tony, what we're trying to do is have you, do you want to call me in FaceTime?
I can try. Yeah.
Yeah, just try calling me. One second, hang on, let me put it on. Hang on.
Mo Collections, what up? Where's Cool Mo? I sent Cool Mo the link if he's listening. I know he's trying this as well.
Ask him.
All right. So when you see the blinking light on the outside, does that mean like it's running stuff? Because I see the blinking light on your left.
So Tony, why don't you call me now?
Okay, I'll pop out. I'll give you a call. Okay,
yeah, just pop out and call me. And let me see if I can get this thing to work. One second, hang on.
I'm here for entertainment, guys. I'm at the office grinding it out, but I will say I do pick up my Apple Vision Pro later on today. I'm excited to pick it up this evening.
We've been trying to get on a call for I feel like a month now. How's tomorrow looking for you?
Tomorrow's good, man. I'm actually off tomorrow. I'm gonna head to go visit my parents. So I'll be free all day tomorrow, man. I'll be at my parents' house. I'll be hanging out with their grandchildren, aka my kids. So we'll get on a call and make some.
Cool. Pretty easy to do this now. We got this. We figured out a nice, easy system. Sanjay, what are you seeing right now?
One second.
Sanjay, what's
coming up?
Why can't we see your eyes? I thought you could see your eyes with the Apple Vision Pros or these optical eyes.
Does it come up in the back?
I feel like a cat. I see a red dot.
Yeah, there it is. Red dot. I see it too. It's like a laser. Scrolling the earth.
Is that the earth?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was the earth.
Okay.
Or like a.
Okay. 1 second.
Amen. Apple is ahead, man. I got my Apple Watch on today, as y'all can see.
Oh.
A little Mickey Mouse action.
Stylish.
Yes.
Big t-shirt.
Okay.
Oh, wow. There you go. It's behind us. We can see it now. I see the Veve logo hat right there. And then I see the small. You have your big screen and then you have a small screen. Oh, wow. You did something.
Right, so Tony, I'm waiting for Tony to call now.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty cool. All right. I'm going to take myself off the camera real quick.
Yeah, 1 second.
All right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. We're waiting for Tony to call.
Oh, that's cool.
I think I need to download.
Is that pool table really there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a real pool table. All right.
Tony has to call.
That's a badass skateboard deck in the background. I love it.
Well, meantime, I can pull up something else.
Cool Mo just joined.
What up, Cool Mo? We're gonna keep you off for 1 second. We're just gonna give MC1 the solo layout while but Cool Mo is here. His stuff is off though, right now.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna download StreamYard while we're waiting.
So I can pull up Disney Plus.
That's cool. So obviously watching Disney Plus on there is dope. That's legit. I wonder if
That's
you'd be able to do that like in the VVverse. Like if you have in the VVverse in here, and if you have a TV, could you essentially pull up apps inside that TV in the VVverse?
I thought you could.
Alright.
I don't know. I don't have access. I just feel like that would be something that you could do at some point.
Can you guys see what
That
I'm
would be
seeing?
cool. Yeah, we can see you're moving around the big screen.
Mhm.
The layout, Netflix, I believe.
Yep. We're just gonna-
That's pretty cool. Okay, so now let me. Tony has to call. I guess I'm too close to everything, so it's kind of field of vision problem here.
Take your time, man. You're the beta. You're like our beta.
I can move away, and you guys can still see
Did you just run into
what I'm
something?
seeing.
Is that a zebra rug?
What? Yeah.
Yo.
So now you see the whole thing.
Oh, there's a screen. Okay, yeah, there it
Yeah.
is.
Whoa. Screen within a screen.
Yeah. So let me do this now. So I'm going to see if I can pull up another thing here.
I got mine coming, brother. I don't know why the date was February 3rd, which is today, and because I work crazy hours, I scheduled my pickup time for this evening at 7 p.m.
All right.
There's Tony.
See if you can see this one.
We're just gonna.
See if you can see this one.
So we see it, but it's blurry. It's showing like it's blurred out.
Yeah, it's coming up. I think they don't. You can see this one.
So yeah, we see it, but it's blurry.
Hang on.
It's showing like it's blurred out.
Hang on. I think they don't. You can see this one.
So yeah, we see it.
Can you see it now?
It's showing like it's blurred out.
Hang on. I think they don't. You can see this one.
So yeah, we see it.
Can you see it now?
It's showing like it's blurred out. Why is it am I hearing myself repeat?
Oh, I do hear that as well. Little echo.
You see it now? You see it?
And Sanjay's also repeating as well.
Yeah, I
Over
hear.
and over.
Let me mute myself.
Can you see anything?
I see a green dot.
It's too dark.
A green dot.
Oh no, that's okay.
No, we can just see. Oh, now we see your screen popped up with the person wearing the yellow hoodie.
They have something where they're not allowing me to show this to you guys, but basically, when you turn this on, this whole scene surrounds you. You know this lady out here? So you suddenly feel like you're standing on the edge of the cliff and you see the rope and this lady is walking towards you and your hands start sweating, man.
Whoa.
And then there's another one, which is like a baseball one. So it's sort of like your face is right at the ground level in some dugout. And you can, this one, Alicia Keys is amazing too, man. I wonder if you guys can see this. Okay. What is this now? Let me see. Yeah, let me try playing it, all right? I'll give it a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It looks like it blurs it out when you hit the button. So we can see the initial start where Alicia Keys is kind of sitting there, but I'm assuming when you hit play, it puts you in the immersive in that immersive.
You off it, and it's not, like that's what AirPlay should mean, right?
Australia, some Africa, some Asia. We're gonna have a ball. So excited.
Is this an Alicia Keys song?
Man, I wanted to try that no.
Can you hear the sound at least?
Yeah, we can hear the sound.
Is this a song or is this just like audio?
So just listen for 2 minutes.
Be advised, if that's a song, I do have to like mute that because YouTube will take it down. Yeah, I got. So yeah, Sonia, I had to mute that because YouTube would. YouTube would take.
No, that's fine. So basically, what happens is you know, when you look at it in an immersive environment, it looks like Alicia Keys is walking towards you, and she leans on her piano and she's singing to you, man. It's pretty crazy. It's crazy immersive.
Sensual.
Okay, what happened to Tony? Why is Tony not calling? Where's Tony? Is he here?
We got a couple people. All right, so Rolex is back. Tony, yeah. All right, hold on, hang on. Let me do a solo layout. But Rolex, there's another Rolex, and then and I can't get Coolmo on. Coolmo, it will only let me edit the name, kick from studio, or ban from studio. It won't let me add him. But we have two Rolexes here.
All right, so
and I can't hear the Rolex.
Okay.
Yeah, Rolex, I can't hear you.
All right, so let's just look at the App Store. So I'm going to open the App Store. So this is the App Store. Can you guys see the App Store now?
I can. Let me put you back on the solo layout. And be advised, Veve NFT Comics, you are muted. You'd have to unmute yourself if you are going to do the talk.
Veve?
Yeah, Veve NFT Comics is muted.
Oh.
I didn't want to create any more repeating. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we're good. Yeah, Veve NFT Comics is
okay.
muted.
Can you see? Repeating? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we're good. Yeah, Veve NFT Comics is muted. He might have to mute himself again.
All right, can you guys see the screen?
I can see. There's like two screens, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the one that you're seeing is the one that has the Apple Vision apps, and then one second, I guess what was that? So basically, you have two types of apps. So this is basically the app and game store. So these are all the different apps. So I go click on search, go there, and I type do you see how I'm typing? Do you see the keyboard?
I do see the keyboard. Wait, type again.
See this? I'm looking at
yeah,
but you see the keyboard?
I do see the keyboard. Wait, type again.
See this? All right. There you go. So now you see Apple here, right? So all the Apple apps came up. I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to just type in Veve collectibles, and see it comes up in the iPhone and iPad apps. See that? And then you can go here and you can see all these.
Oh, okay, and you can scroll.
Yeah, and then you can pull it up and do whatever. Mine doesn't seem to be working right now. I need to do something to see all these.
Oh, okay, and you can scroll.
Yeah, and then you can pull it up and do whatever. Mine is not. Let's get Tony to call me though. So maybe Tony can.
Oh, okay, and you can scroll.
Yeah, and then you can pull it up. Mine is. Let's get Tony to call me though. So maybe Tony can.
Oh, okay, and you can scroll. Somebody's. I don't know how the feedback loop is giving us like 4 times. Oh, okay, and you can scroll. Okay, I had to mute Veve NFT Comics because that was, but we should be good now.
Okay.
Okay, and what are you doing on your phone now?
I'm trying to call Tony, so maybe I can call him.
Gotcha.
Let's see if I can call him.
Okay, so I see the menu, which is cool.
Yeah.
Did you have to do anything for the Veve? Like you had to search for it? Like it didn't come auto-populated, right?
No, you have to. There's a way in which you can do that. You know, like I'm still figuring this out. But I was able to open it yesterday. Today I'm not able to open it for some reason, but Tony is. So there's some setting. You know, I have so many Apple devices, and you have to enable something, and there's notifications and stuff. So there's like all these ways in which you have to set this up. So it's just a little. Let me see if I can find FaceTime.
Mr. Pags is on his way to the Apple store right now. He's getting this bread.
Yeah.
Range. Well, yeah, let's break out this Veve app. Did it come with anything? Like, you know how on like one of the iPhones or whatever, like it came downloaded with like a U2 album?
Yeah.
Did this come with anything pre-downloaded?
Yeah, it comes with a bunch of stuff pre-downloaded, but you know, you have to just find it. I tried to play it. There's like 8K videos in this, right?
So is there like how many apps are able to be downloaded by this? Like how many things are like can
not a lot, but something. So let's see the iPhone. Okay.
so is there any NSFW apps that you could download with this? Because I have a feeling the not safe for work apps could be really fun on this headset.
Oh. Okay, what is that? Sorry, let's check something.
Does that work now? Hopefully no echo.
I do not hear an echo now, so you're good.
Tony, did you call me
Okay.
on WhatsApp? Oh, sorry, on FaceTime?
No. I was just trying to figure out why I was creating an echo. I think I had the stream running twice, but I think I got rid of the issue.
Can you just call me on? Can you call me on FaceTime?
Well, I think you guys can see now what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
right?
all right. I see the Veve app that you have on the background.
Okay, let me get off the screen share then. Hang on a second. Maybe move Tony to the.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on the solo layout. Are you on the moon?
Yeah, so I can make it so I'm fully on the moon. So I'm fully immersed on the moon. So you can hopefully see
Dope.
that. And you can see Disney Plus over here.
All right, I'm going to take off my thing. So, all right, so we can see Tony's.
Yeah, so you can see Disney Plus over here, which looks like it's like, for me, it looks like it's like a couple inches from my face. You got the Veve app. You could easily do a drop on here, whatever. Works fine.
Pull up a comic. Let's read a comic, Tony.
All right,
Ooh,
let's
yeah,
go.
comics are good.
So this was what I was talking about. So I can literally, the comic for me, it's like right in front of my face. You can walk right up to it. And the clarity, it literally looks like I can reach out and touch these pictures. The words are crystal clear. It's
so cool.
It's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if you guys can appreciate what I'm seeing, but yeah.
And you can increase the size of the Veve app too, right? Can you expand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will that make it bigger?
Yeah, I can make it bigger and move closer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you can literally you can fill the whole room wall with the Veve app, and then just kind of go zoom in and see it.
Can you see like how big it looks to me?
Yeah, it's
like
amazing, Tony. We can see everything. Yep.
And then to turn the page, I just go like that, look at the little arrow up there and tap my fingers, and there's the next page. And there's the next page.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
pretty
moving
amazing.
faster too, right? Than the regular app?
Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah. No issue. No issue. So.
And then let's, Tony, let's pull up let's go into your vault with all your cars, man. Let's do that. That's one of my most fun experiences.
Yeah, so we can go into the garage.
Sanjay, how long have you been playing with this for?
Man, obviously not enough, because I was like struggling to, like all this AirPlay shit's what's throwing me off, man. But yeah, this was so much of fun. Yesterday, I showed Tony my stuff, all my collection, and then Tony showed me his, and then we were kind of chatting, and we both looked like, those zombies,
So, Tony, how heavy is it?
Heavy.
I mean, I don't notice it really. I mean, the only thing I notice is like around here, you start to feel the pressure. The weight doesn't bother me at all. But again, I might be a bad test case because I got used
It's a
for
pound. It
many
does feel
years,
a
like
little heavy.
sharing stuff
It
on
does
my
feel a
head.
little heavy, but it's okay. Not terrible.
All right, can you guys see the vault?
Yes.
So again, I'm just looking at the vault, and all I have to do is just tap my fingers, like it, and it opens. Like it, can tell what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Iron Man right now.
Yeah.
Squeeze my fingers. Squeeze it again. Like it can tell I'm looking at him.
Oh, damn, he shot you.
Now it can tell. Now all I did was look at that Lamborghini back there, and when I tap, it opens that door. I'm looking.
Go into, right?
What's that?
So click on just look at the joystick and make yourself move forward into.
Yeah. So now I'm looking at the joystick and I'm just, moving forward.
Oh, that's so
All I'm doing is
cool.
looking at it, right? I'm looking at the motorcycle right now. And there you go. And it'll start.
A nice gold logo you have back there.
Yep.
Suplex.
And there's the motorcycle. I'm looking at the Aston Martin door. Tap. I'm now looking at the joystick, backing up. Like this is what, again, I know it's not AR, but the fact that you can do this and all I'm doing is looking, like there's Miles. All right, Miles, go. And all I'm doing is literally tapping my thumb and index finger together. And it knows I'm looking at him. Now I'm looking at the joystick again.
This is insane.
And again, I can get pretty close. So again, AR, no. But that'll come. But right now, there's Iron Man again. I can tap him, stand him up. I'm looking at that Lamborghini through the thing. There you go. And it can tell I'm looking at these different objects just by tracking my eyes. It's crazy.
Well, your app is already in AR, right?
Yeah, the app is in AR. If I back up, you can see the app is floating,
Yeah.
Right here.
So that's why you can't AR in AR until they develop some kind of mechanism by which when you decide to, like it allows you to pull Veve assets into your environment and do that AR,
That's right. So again, but it is amazing that it can tell, like I'm looking at the Lamborghini, boom, I'm looking back at Iron Man. Like the fact that you can basically navigate the environment with your eyes is pretty insane to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let me get out of this vault. But turn down the moon so I can see you guys again. But yeah, isn't that, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
That's so wild. And this is just the beginning, like you said, that AR will hopefully be up in the next, like 4 or 6 months. And, as we get new things, I don't know, like I'm going to go really like kind of off out of left field here and be like, this is proof that we're in a simulation. Like we're getting so close to this simulation. Like that's what it's going to be. At some point, like I've seen stories of people pretend like they're in like a new room and they're like kind of losing their balance and they go to grab their balance on a table, but the table's not really there. And then they just fall. And we're so close to that. That's insane.
Yeah, we're pretty close. And I know people have talked about the pass-through. I have the Quest 2. You can probably see the boxes back there. I don't have the 3. But like on this one, without even the thing that used to bother me with the Quest is like, oh, if I want to look at my phone, I couldn't. I'm taking off this. I can text. I can respond to stuff. You can see everything clearly enough to where I could exist in my environment uncompromised with this on. And then when I want to go back to, using it, I just kind of look at it and there it's back. Right. And so again,
Randy saw me texting while I was, I looked down at my phone and Randy was like, what are you doing on your phone? I'm like, yeah, on X,
So I know, Animal Concerts probably has a big jump on this, but could you imagine concerts in the VV-verse? Planet Vampire said like virtual concerts would be sick. Like,
after watching that Alicia Keys thing, yep, absolutely.
But I tried it, Tony. I tried playing it. Can you try playing it?
I don't think it'll
it doesn't allow, right? Just try it. Why don't you try it one time? Because I tried it. It just would not, broadcast it on the AirPlay. I think they kind of shut it down.
Here, I'll try it.
Yeah, let's give it a go. See if it works. Because the moment
The
you turn
future
on,
is now.
so you're written as the mouse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that one's pretty cool too. The one with the lady walking. Yeah, there you go, man. Come on, let's see it. God damn it! It looks like Alicia Keys is like performing for you.
We're just gonna mute you, but you can keep it playing. We'll just do the mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
It doesn't
keep
show. It doesn't show, Tony. It doesn't come. It doesn't matter.
Oh, sorry.
Because of the immersive video, I don't think it'll allow it to
Yeah, it doesn't
Oh,
allow.
gotcha.
do it. Yeah, I think it's restricted to just the headset, but it does look amazing for sure.
You
So
need to
there's
like put your phone up next to the headset and like look into it through the phone.
Yeah. So you know the other thing. Oh, it recognizes that. By the way, it won't allow you to do that. You know, if you try to, even when I try to remove my lens and put it on my wife's face, there's a setting where you have to say guest.
Yeah, because it's like
otherwise
Face
it doesn't
ID.
allow it.
Yeah, it's like Face ID. It looks at your eyes and it can tell if it's you or not. For
Yeah,
sure.
and it's got an iris lock as well. It's pretty much useless. So there's one video which is not in your environment right now, Tony. But when you go to the Apple store and look at the demo, they have like a couple of sports clips, man. So there's one where it's literally your face is like sticking out of a dugout like this, right ground level,
Wow.
literally at the ground level. And there's like a game going on. You can see the diamond, and then the guy's throwing, pitching, and stuff like that. And the guy comes and he slides, and it's right in front of you. The guy is sliding.
Wow. Did you check out the Formula One car yet?
Yes. Oh, I haven't turned it on. And my thing is, I got to do it on my Vision Pro. But I saw the video of it. And then did you see the one that somebody had posted of the NBA?
Yes, watching all the NBA games and stuff. That's very
Look
cool.
at Cool Mo's. Cool Mo's looking.
And
awesome.
although there was
Oh my God, I look like I'm dead.
Hey, and although there was a lot of press about Netflix and Google/YouTube not doing apps, I tell you what though, YouTube TV, like just in the browser, looks fine. I mean, you don't need an app. Like you could watch, multiple browser tabs, the TV channels. I've had that up. You got HBO Max, you got Disney Plus. There's plenty of content day one.
So the
Here's
NBA
my
announced
Star
an
Wars.
app. Tony, the NBA announced an app with Vision Pro, where Tim Cook was there, and basically somebody made a video where there's a guy watching 33 games live, man. Like, oh no, his whole wall is. No, seriously, he's got his wall. He's got the main game. He's got some side games, and he's got all the scores below it. The whole wall.
Wow.
Like that's how I want to watch the the NCAA basketball tournament, man.
That's insane. Pag is asking if you could take this on a plane. I don't see why not. I don't see why you
can. There's a travel mode. You can put it in, and it's made. It's not airplane mode. It's different than airplane mode. It's travel mode. So if you're in a car or on a plane, it doesn't. It keeps it stable, so it doesn't think you're. It doesn't try to track all that fast movement. But yeah, it's been designed so that you could be on a plane and put it in travel mode and sit back, watch a movie, and do all that stuff. Yeah.
And get a bunch of these. So this is basically the battery pack.
Ah.
So, I went, Tony went and got a second one yesterday. I was like, okay, you know what? If the main one lasts 2 hours and I run out of, power to charge it, then, it's good to have.
By the way, people should know, like, this is a battery pack. So I'm sitting here. If I wanted to walk around, I could just with the battery pack. That'll last about 2 hours. But because it has pass-through power, there's an adapter. I could plug this in and I could sit here, all day, right? Because it's just pass-through. So they thought about that, which is cool. So yeah, you're not limited if you're near where you can be plugged in.
That's amazing.
Somebody asked me, I think it was Viper or somebody who asked me, he sent me some review that somebody said, look, it's heavy. Yes, it's heavy, but it's a lot more comfortable for that heavy factor. They've thought to it. And there's two types of straps. There's this strap which Tony's wearing, which just goes across a big broad strap. Then there's one on the head, that's got like two. It's like a double kind of band, but two thinner bands that hold it in place. So you got a couple of choices there. So true, it's heavy. It's got to come down. And then the other one said, there's no game killer app in this. Man, I think just the whole thing is a killer. With the iris or the eyeball kind of scan and the gesture click. And when you watch any type of sports with this, like literally, the whole concept of TV has changed, man. You don't
you see that TV behind me, whatever, and that's probably the last big TV I'll ever buy, right? Because it's nowhere near as immersive as I was watching Infinity War last night, and literally, people talk about the weight, but I was like sitting on a couch, I could kind of lean back, so that takes away the weight, and I literally have the thing just like across the whole ceiling. It's, to me, even better than the movie theater experience. It was insane. And the sound, no headphones, sounded amazing. Yeah, I was blown away. I was blown away by that.
I think you'll have let's say there's two football games that are going on or two basketball games that are going on. So you can have both basketball games in half the size of your wall on either side, and then on the side wall you can have like your X feed where you and your buddies are chatting. On the other side you can have like a ESPN scoreboard type thing where you can watch all the other games or other sports or whatever, the scores and stuff. And on the floor you could put something else too, right? So you have this.
Yeah, that's right. So I had that big movie up there. All I had to do was turn to my left a little bit more, and there's Veve or there's Twitter or whatever. It can. And the other crazy thing, you might have seen some of these reviews. Like, if you were to get up and walk into the other room, get a drink, you come back, and all those windows are still right where you left, in the room.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's amazing how it knows how to maintain that. It's I don't know how it does it. I do not know how it does that.
Very intuitive. They Jason Pena asked if Cavernous will be delivering the Apple Vision Pro friendly experience. I think at some point we get Cavernous. I think Cavernous has already said they're working on something with this. They gave it to him I think like a month ago or something. They're able to work on it. I don't know.
And to be fair, speaking of Cavernous, here's Spatial.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Spatial's amazing.
Spatial works. Let me go to.
Let me see if I can get into Spatial as well, Tony. Let's see if I can get into Spatial.
Yeah, you can see Spatial here. This is same thing. You can look at your joystick, look at your. I'm looking at one of those things where it says sit. All I have to do is look at it, and it goes there. See that sit right there? I'm just looking at that, and all I have to do is gesture, boom, and it'll go sit there. That's all you have to do. It's pretty cool. So this is this is what Spatial looks like. And again, you guys probably can't appreciate this, but for me, this is 10 feet wide or whatever. And when I get close to it, it looks like it takes up my whole field of view pretty much. It's hard to appreciate that on the TV behind me, but imagine if you were in the headset.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool.
You guys make me want to get one.
Well, it's interesting. Someone tweeted me saying, "Hey, is it worth it?" And I was like, "Look, think about cars."
Tony, why don't you come to my space, man? Why don't you come into my penthouse?
Okay, yeah, I'll open in a second. But when people say, "Is it worth it?" It's like, well, cars are invented to get you from A to B, right? So you could get any number of cars and say, "Yep, this can get me from A to B." But if you're someone who likes luxury cars or sports cars, you end up paying a lot more money for that luxury or for that performance. And someone said, "Is it worth it?" Well, to some people, yes, right? To some people, maybe not. It's a very personal thing. I tell you what, though, after going through just the setup process, and from the first time I experienced that precise eye tracking and the ability to immerse yourself into, I was sold. To me, no buyer's remorse, whatever. That was it. Wow. And so far, I'd say if you're an early adopter, if you believe in this future, you'll probably feel like it's worth it. To others, Quest 3 might be just fine, etc. Do your thing. So.
Okay, so is this? Are you gonna be looking at Sanjay's? Oh no, that's your actual living room. I'm sorry, I'm tripping.
Yeah, let me go back to Spatial and find Sanjay's.
Oh, Yeah, I can't wait for like one day in a couple months. OMI has like this God candle and being able to go and look up at it on the big screen on your Apple Vision Pro. Yeah, better than movie theater. That's not good for movie theaters. It's great for streaming services, but
You can see Mr. MC1's yacht. All right. So
No, get into the penthouse.
hold on.
I do not believe it's legal to drive with this on. There's somebody that got pulled over yesterday.
Oh, never mind.
It is.
Hang on. I'll come to the yacht.
No, yeah, it says not to be worn when operating motor vehicles. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, that's probably just there for legal reasons because you can see well enough, but you know.
Go into the. Hang on. Just wait there.
All right. And what's just so different to me from either having this on your phone or the other headsets where you have these joysticks in your hands, I don't know. To me, there's just something about.
Hey, that's you, Tony?
Yeah, there you go. About just using your eyes and kind of, it makes you feel like you're not encumbered at all, right? When you can do it with your eyes like that, it is something else.
That is pretty cool.
We got Kumo back. Kumo, we're gonna all hang out while we see Tony's view of Sanjay's yacht. Wait, was there another person in there as well? Was that Sanjay?
That was Sanjay. That is Sanjay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's someone else. Okay, there's the other person.
What I ended up doing is I did a software update.
Oh, nice.
All right, I'm going to leave this space. We'll let Cool Mo kind of chat a little bit here.
Cool Mo, can you like push him? Can you like physically interact with the? Like, can
With
you like
Sanjay?
push him off the deck?
Sanjay?
Yeah. I was saying if Tony could like push him like off the deck, like his avatar can push the other avatar.
Oh. Well, I would have to be in that same game. If we connected through Apple Arcade, that's a possibility, yeah. But Sanjay, what I ended up doing was I went into Safari, I logged into YouTube.
Yeah.
And then did you get your persona set up?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's how we were FaceTiming, Sanjay. That's your persona.
Yeah, that's how we're FaceTiming.
Yeah, so if your persona set up and you logged in via YouTube, and then I got that link from Randy, and then I went into StreamYard, and right before you come into the studio that Randy lets you in, it says start cam. That might be the possibility with that.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's how I was in, Randy, when you could just see my persona.
Yeah, and I see Mr. Rolex that was having the same issue.
Yeah, that's what that creates. So if I did that, you would just see my digital persona. So right now, I have you on my laptop camera, and you're seeing the TV behind me, and I'm airplaying Vision Pro to that TV. That's how I'm doing it.
Yeah. So yeah, I work part-time for Apple, so I've been demoing these.
Oh, nice. How are people who are seeing it for the first time, kind of responding?
Completely flipping it out. Completely flipping out. Their mouths are open. It's like bees could fly in and out just the whole time. So me with my goofy smile.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah. Yeah, some people cry. Kid you not?
Really?
Yeah, it's so emotional.
Wow.
I really recommend going into the store and getting a demo. It just shows everything you need to see.
I don't need to cry in front of strangers, but
Yeah.
you can sneak me in the back, sure.
So I'm just making what I'm really kind of concentrating on is getting that right fit, if you know what I mean, on the face. And I've tried the key to it is the cheeks and the forehead. And if it's the forehead, moving it up will take pressure off the forehead, moving it down will take pressure off the cheeks. So kind of some tips for people that are getting it.
Yeah.
But I would recommend not walking in the store and just buying it. You need to go through and make sure the light seal and everything is okay.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah,
any,
I did the Apple Store one where it used your phone and kind of asked you to do like a Face ID scan and it says, all right, this is the light seal for you. And so far, the light seal's been great.
yeah,
Wait, was Pags was serious? I thought he was joking. He literally went to the store and got one.
He
And
probably won't be able to get it.
he said he'll be home to set it up in an hour. Apparently, he got it.
Wow, nice.
I think they have availability, you know?
yeah, we do.
They have availability.
Yeah. A half hour ago, he was literally on his way to the store. Again.
A half hour.
Wow.
I hope he
He saw
double
this
checked the
immediately.
stream.
It's amazing. Apple, where's our commission check? Oh,
So I got the beta invite, but then I got the same email that everybody else got pulled that got it.
Same.
So I was really hoping to get that here pretty quick and be able to go in and start building some stuff in my space. Sanjay, have you used Cavernous yet with the update?
Say that again?
Have you used Cavernous yet with the update? Because I saw
No.
earlier this week that they updated it for the Apple Vision Pros.
No, I haven't gotten Cavernous on my Vision Pro. Give me a minute, guys. I'm just setting up my. Kind of move things around. Give me 30 seconds here. No, but I didn't download the Cavernous app as yet, but I will.
Yeah, NFT Pirates had that great stream the other day about building in that with the Rizzo.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Well, man, I'll try Cavernous.
Tales from Rizzo?
Yes.
Some other process, but the Veve part of Cavernous, the Veveverse part of Cavernous, I'll probably wait for some instructions on it, guys. That'd be pretty cool, though.
We have the we have a nice little setup of people here, of people that have it, and Kumo actually works for Apple.
Yeah.
I don't know. Trying to think how we can go and get this to more people outside of the 100 people that are here right now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is a very, very important video. At least like the last half hour, anyway. First 20 minutes, we're all trying to trying to get it set
Yeah,
up.
you probably have to delete all that.
We're probably the first ones who ever tried to stream these things.
Yeah. So maybe
Yeah,
delete
when
the
Sanjay
30, 40
and
minutes, you know?
when I seen everybody was having problems and it was different types of problems, I went out and saw there was a software update and I did that and then recreated my persona because it looked like I was looking down and then came back in and everything seems to be working just fine now. So
Yeah.
So real quick, if you can see this London police thing I've got.
Yeah. You can see it,
Again,
Tony.
I know people say, oh, no way. But all I'm doing is looking at it and you can see what I'm doing with my hand. I'm like, it feels like you're like, you're like playing with it. I mean, that is, to me, the most amazing thing so far with this, how seamless that is. Like it literally looks like you're touching reality, you know, and
Tony, here's what.
the movements are so precise. There's no lag. It doesn't feel like it's doing something a second after you. It's like as you think it and do it, it's happening. It's kind of crazy.
So yesterday, I used my Veve app in the Vision Pro in a certain direction, and then today I was in a different room, looking in a different direction, and using my Vision Pro. And every time I clicked on the Veve app, it wasn't showing up, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" Finally, like I turned around, and it was laying behind. It was like it's exactly where I left it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you left it behind you.
I
yeah,
left it there. Yes. So you gotta go. Like that's the thing. You have to remember where you put stuff now. Just because you cannot. That's funny.
So before I get to the next comment, on the London police over on the Discord, they said that they'll see a lot of things happening with the actual piece. As always, holders will be rewarded. I just went to look on it on the app, and it's like $600 for that secret rare. So that's a little out of my price range right now.
Oh, this one I'm showing you right now?
The secret rare, if that's it, then yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have the whole set, apparently you're going to get something. Maybe like an airdrop.
Let's see. Let's go to market,
Real time.
Real time. Oh, let's try search. Oh, can you see the keyboard? So like Sandra was saying.
Yeah, that keyboard is amazing. When you look at the alphabets, it kind of lights up when you're looking at it.
Yeah. So which one? The Grand Lad Launch Secret Rare?
Yeah.
Okay. So just
Something
see what I'm doing? I'm literally looking at that 29, and I'm just like tapping. Boom.
something with the keyboard. If you look at the letters and numbers and then tap your fingers, you can type that way instead of putting your fingers out as if you're virtually typing.
Yeah, and I've tried both. I can't tell which one I'm better yet at, but they both work. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be like first typing on the iPhone.
Yeah.
The ones where there's
But
easier.
yeah, I did that. I could search. I looked at the listing. I tap, and boom, here they are.
Oh. What is it? $600, Tony?
600, 599. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see, the other one, the one I was manipulating with the 40 is
The Grand Lad.
Do you have a Patrick Hughes?
I do.
Oh, that would be a good one to see.
Yeah, that's
oh
great
yeah.
Collections. It's going to be fire.
Randy, that's pretty amazing.
Of course.
Which one do you want? Let's go.
The one with the buildings.
Contemplating Venice.
Yeah, I've got those too.
Oh, let's see. I've got one. I have two of them, I guess.
But this is not going to AR it though, right? It's just
no,
it's not going to go into AR.
well, maybe
you see that warning?
very
See that warning? Yeah, it tells you. Oh, you can, even without AR, you can still manipulate it and watch it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can definitely see the effect that we're going to see.
Yeah.
In the Veve verse. Of course, Sanjay, you may have already seen this, right? You may not be able to. I'm sorry. I shouldn't ask you that.
How's that look to you?
That is incredible.
That is incredible. Watching it.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good call. The check of Patrick Hughes in this thing. Pretty good. It is amazing as it rotates through. Wow.
Yeah, I specifically bought an Avengers Tower based upon some people I heard talking about what you can do with that in the Veve verse.
Let's try another one.
Try another Patrick Hughes.
I better just keep my mouth shut, man.
Yeah, you don't have to answer anything, Sanjay. I'm not trying to tempt you.
No.
I'm just thinking out loud.
It is true. A lot of them sold out fast.
Did that even sell out? That building? I don't know if it did. I guess it did.
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
Let me see. I got it. Oh yeah, it did sell out. Wow. Cool. Glad I got one.
I think the piece I'm looking forward to the most in the Veve verse is the Aston Martin that I got, the secret rare. Not the 1 of 7, but
the one of like 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, the one at 500.
Tony,
I don't have that one. That's a little expensive.
Tony, you want to take that out of your showroom and drive it a little bit or something? That Aston Martin. He's got that.
I don't think you'll be able to drive it because of.
Oh, there's no AR. Yeah.
What I've always thought it was funny with that Aston Martin is it looks like there's spots on the hood, but I know there can't be in the Veve verse. They're not going to sell that with spots. If you look at the hood.
Oops. There we are inside of it. I don't know if I can. But yeah, it's a cool piece. I figure I got to work on the scale. I didn't even know that opened. Wow. Did you guys?
See what?
I didn't even know the armrest opened like that.
Oh, that's dope. I remember doing this once in the not the Mandalorian, the DeLorean, and that was cool. I knew it in That's Martin though.
Another thing I can't wait to see is I've got both the aquariums for the Feesh's collection, and I've got
Sweet.
probably 18 Feesh's, and I just can't wait to see what those are going to look like in the Veveverse.
Feeshes.
A question for you, Cool Mo. So when you pull down the Veve app in your Vision Pro, does it automatically show up on that app screen? Like for me, it does not show up there, but I have to go into like the App Store each time to open it. Does your I know for Tony it did as well. It just shows up automatically, but for me it doesn't. Do you
Yeah,
know?
what you need to do is go into compatible apps, and you'll see it in there.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, yeah, that's where it goes.
Okay, I need to pull it up from there. Got it.
So that's going to be like iPad and iPhone apps.
Yeah. I just never clicked. With all those dots on it, I just never clicked on it.
Oh, there's so much to look at.
Yeah.
Easily done.
I'm gonna figure out the what I can do with the beta that I'm in. If I can Veveverse that I can do anything or there. I just need to chat with these guys, make sure they're okay with it.
Oh, I love those Lamborghinis. I bought that powder blue. It's that same color as my 75 Cutlass. My first car I ever owned. Talk about nostalgia.
This is the GT350 though, right?
Yeah.
This is. Yeah, and the thing that's just so amazing to me is, I mean, as you guys can tell, I'm looking at the door, touching. I'm looking at the hood, touching. Like, it just knows what you're.
Just open it and walk
Yeah,
through
just
it.
with your fingers.
Like, it just knows what you're looking at, and you touch it, and it responds. Like, that's crazy.
Tony, open it. Just zoom the car. Make the car very, very big.
Yeah, that I haven't figured out. I got to figure out how to scale it because it doesn't recognize.
Probably use the option. And,
Well, you own it though, right?
Yeah, this is the one I own. This is mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I am very interested in building in the Veveverse. So this is kind of I'm really looking forward to that.
I think the other invites should go shortly. There was one or two things that needed to get to scale, and I kind of have seen that happen. So my sense is that those invites are going to go out shortly. So, but yeah, that would be sick, man. But this thing is built, like Weverse is built for something like this. This is like super high quality, lifelike rendering of stuff and avatars and stuff. Weverse is just, the quality in Weverse is like so high, so high. So my sense is that something like this would be very well suited, for something like that.
Have you tried set up a work environment and do anything with Word or anything?
No, not yet, man. Yesterday I was just kind of playing around with this stuff. We're trying to get I was just exploring all the apps, not going deeper into any one of them. Tony and I, we played with Veve, we played with FaceTime. Did the whole so the movie type thing. We were chatting about that. So today I'm going to play with all the productivity stuff. I did some social media too. Yesterday I banged out like a post on X from the Vision Pro. Like literally opened it up, typed in the line and put a picture, and I posted it. And I said first post from AVP. So it was pretty easy actually to post from.
Yeah, so the next couple weeks, I'm I teach college, so I got like 3 Zooms I got to do a week. So I'm going to try this with my Zooms. I'm going to use this within Keynote, see how things go with that, see if I can do some grading with it in Word and have all these windows open, just kind of see how that goes.
Yeah, and the camera is great too. So I took some static pictures from it, looking outside. I took a video of my dining room that I think I posted, and then I took some screenshots inside the Vision Pro, what I was looking at. So just played around with it a little bit yesterday. Today, after this session's over, probably do some more of the productivity stuff, the all the other stuff.
One thing that did you watch the first episode of that wildlife series with the rhinos? If you haven't seen it already.
No, but I saw the
Wait,
my
where is
God.
it?
demo.
I want to see that.
So when I did the demo, it falls in the same immersive one, I think, Randy. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but when I did that in the Apple Store, the demo,
Yeah.
like these 2 big rhinos walk up to you, and you almost feel like petting their their face. It's like it was so lifelike, man.
And also, have you done the dinosaur encounter?
No, that one I have to do.
Oh,
I've seen the video of it though.
I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it's.
Yeah.
If you stick your hand out, you're going to whip it back quick. I got to tell you that. Because a dinosaur, I mean, it looks. I think the T-Rex and Veve even looks better than the one you see, but it's so real. Like you'll start like backing off a little bit because he just comes right out of the window.
Yeah. And there's one in which it's like Norway. It's got the mountains on both sides and there's water in the middle. And you're sitting in a helicopter and flying in that helicopter, and you see the scene as you're whizzing by. And I didn't get nauseous. Those are the kind of scenes which would get you completely dizzy in a Quest 3.
Yeah.
But it didn't get me dizzy at all. When I was in that, sort of with the.
And the scene with it.
I'm glad it doesn't get you dizzy, man. That got me really excited because that was one thing I was worried about. My wife bought me the Quest 2, and she got it for me probably about 1.5 years ago, and I put it on once, and then I tried it, got really nauseous, sweaty, and then I took it off, and then I was like, let me give it a shot. A week later, put it on for about 20 minutes, got really nauseous, and then I haven't used it since. It just kind of sat on the charging station hanging out. So I'm very happy to hear that this one doesn't do that.
I've probably had it on 4 or 5 hours. Probably not once have I got nauseous.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours.
So yeah, not all at once. I'd say 45 minutes to an hour is a good time to have it on all at once. But I've not gotten nauseous once. And if anything, it just startles you when those rhinos walk up to you. It is literally like I started backing away. Couple of the immersive experiences, and just to chill out, I just hung out at Water's Edge at Mount Hood.
That's awesome.
So,
Has anyone tried drinking while doing this?
Yeah, it's kind of, you got to be careful.
Okay, let's say crack open a beer or something. Let's see how cool this can really get.
I had a cup of coffee this morning, and he had to be careful not to bang the cup into the.
Tony, be advised, you got to change your phone's unlock code. You kind of just showed that, so just change that when we're done here. Right now.
Good catch.
Who was that?
Big A just mentioned. Tony he showed his phone's unlock code, so he's gonna.
Change your.
Also, Tony, you're muted for I don't know if I can unmute you.
Hey, Tony, if you try to change your code now, we'll see the new code too. You know what
Yeah. You're still muted.
Tony can stop airplane. Take off airplane, and you can change your code.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah, that's funny. And you have to change, like the green dot all the way on the top is the one that you press to kind of pull down the whole screen share and all that stuff, like the controls. So every time you want to reach for it, you kind of got to look all the way up in the sky.
Now, you can change that, Sanjay, if you go into your settings.
Is that right?
Yeah, you can change the height, because I was watching a movie and it kept popping up once in a while. So I went into settings and I made it like the highest level towards. I have to really look up for it to come up.
Yeah, and then you have to turn off notifications in this because it's super annoying, you know? Like I turned on notifications for X and I had notifications for all my text messages and stuff. And the damn thing was just popping off continuously, you know? I was like, irritating. Just turn it all off.
I'm trying to.
So, Cool Mo, do you have your, oh, you're not wearing yours, but you look like you have the same thing going that Tony had when he first started the stream. Are you doing that right now where your pro is like digitally showing?
Yeah, I'm using my persona.
Okay, that's your persona. So how does that work exactly?
So to get your persona, what you do, you know, you ever do a Face ID on your phone?
Yeah. I actually done it many times.
It's a similar thing with the Vision Pros, which is Apple Vision Pros. You take them off and you put the Apple Vision Pro in front of you, and it has you turn your head left, right, up, down, captures your face, and then does a persona. This is in beta. See, what I got to figure out is why does it look like I'm looking down? Like I'm going to have to do like this. Just I don't know if this is StreamYard or not.
I thought you were looking down.
No, I'm not looking down. I'm looking straight ahead. So these are little things I guess we're going to have to work on to do these, you know, streams right.
Yeah, Tony.
This is how it works.
Tony was working. Was okay. Yes.
When you get the Vision Pro, what you do is to set up your persona, and I set up mine yesterday, so I was wearing a black shirt and whatever, and you would basically
so you're saying I should go to Apple with a black shirt?
No. So you just turn this around, and then what you do is you look in it. You can, you know, and it'll ask you to look up, look down, look left, look right slowly.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's getting like your face.
Metrics,
it's getting like a full avatar kind of. It's making like an avatar out of your face, your persona.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It gets your collar and stuff too. Just maybe up to here, it kind of gets this whole piece.
Okay.
So then what happens is when you put this on, you're doing something. What they're doing, you know, now it's using that, you know, 3D scan of your face.
Yeah.
But what it's doing is inside the Vision Pro, it's seeing your face.
The optics of your eyes.
Whether you're smiling, whether your eyes are going up or down and stuff.
Wow.
And what it's doing is superimposing that on your persona.
Like AI.
It's like, it's AI.
That's insane.
This face was recorded yesterday. Whatever.
Listen, this is crazy because I obviously knew when Tony was originally up in the beginning of this conversation, I was like, that's not the Tony I know. It looks like Tony, but it's a different version of Tony. So I asked him, are you the AI version? He said, yeah. And he explained to me, I was like, wow, I was right. So I'm assuming over time, I can only imagine that the technology is only going to get so much better to where you can't tell the difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now you're looking straight at us.
Well, I got the window on the ceiling. I'm in a recliner. I'm all the way back in the recliner, and I've got it on the ceiling. This is the only way for me to, but it looks like I'm on The Walking Dead. I mean, you know.
Hey, how did you say you moved that top setting? Because it is kind of high up there. You were able to.
Let's see. Let me find my control panel. You go into.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
It's too cool, man.
So who's gonna watch Rocky 4 on their Apple Vision Pro in remembrance of Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers?
Oh yeah.
For that one yet.
I thought of Predator more than anything.
Oh, that's a great one too.
When him and Arnold met for the first time. Yes, that right there, bud. That's it right there.
Yeah, I when I used to be like super huge, I used to try to like recreate that with like gym buddies, and we would do that all the time. It was like one of the most autistic things we ever did. It was great. Oh, good times.
Sanjay, it's on the control center under settings.
Okay. I'll look it up.
I did watch part of a movie this morning, Mad Max Fury Road, when they're getting ready to go into the sandstorm. What a lovely day!
Jim Jackson.
So in 3D, that was unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
Tyler
the
said he was
main-
watching Infinity War. I was like, oh, that sounds great.
I watched that. I watched the fight with Thanos and Cap American. Yeah, Thor. I knew it.
That's amazing, man. But it's safe to say this technology is here to stay, man. I think Apple's figured this out. The headset has to get a little lighter. So I asked the guys at the store, I said, what do you think is the plan? Do you think they're going to do a cheaper, lighter version, whatever? He's like, I don't know. Well, there's monthly payments.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, it's 3,500, you want it, you got to set up monthly payments. You can't afford it and you want it.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. I could just pay it off.
What were y'all talking about?
Monthly payments.
The price?
For those of us that only have $2,000 in their bank account right now.
So here's the good thing. I mean, if you have an Apple card, the Goldman Sachs Apple card, and you purchase any Apple products, it's 0%, which is free money. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm a big fan of free money. I love free money.
That's a good deal.
That's what sealed the deal for me is 0% financing. It's free money. I'm not going to say no to that anytime. So if anybody has any 0% financing available out there and you got some cool technology that you want somebody to buy, let me know.
I'm sure they're selling all they can make. And someone had responded to one of my posts saying, well, any company could do this if they could charge $3,500 for one of these. I'm like, that is so wrong. Like, do you know the amount of R&D and not every
maybe one company can do what Apple just did and charge $3,500 for that piece, and that's probably Tesla, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's not easy to do. It's not just because you can charge a lot. It's hard to do what they do.
Well, the cash cow paid for the research and development of this Apple Vision Pros.
Yeah, and Apple doesn't really pay taxes on a lot of that because I don't know which law it was, but any American company putting money into R&D don't have to pay taxes on that. So that's how we innovate a lot of stuff with China. Jeremiah Aoyang was on X before, so posting a photo of himself being a glass hole. It was with him at the Google glasses like from 11 years ago. So just
what happened to those?
I don't know, but just imagine how far we've come in just the last 11 years. And now
I think looking at that picture, you would think we kind of went backwards because those things are so small.
Yeah.
Right?
But they don't have
the features. Yeah, I know. It doesn't have as much technology, but I'm looking forward to the day where you can put on a small pair of glasses like that and do exactly what you're going to be able to do, and then more on the Apple Vision Pro.
So this thing, this Apple Vision Pro, what I was reading is they've sold about 200,000 units. So it's already made Apple about 700 million.
Thank God I invested in Apple. Hey, another question. So if you were to pre-order one today, I don't know if you still can, what is the expected delivery time now? Because I know if you order day one.
Question. Rolex, wrong question. If you pre-order it or do whatever ordering and set up an appointment to pick it up, your date will be in the future. But if you go to the store, they'll give it to you then and there.
Oh, you can buy them.
Speaking the truth.
Oh, so they have them available at the store?
Yeah, It was literally like an hour ago or an hour and a half ago. Pag says that he's on his way to the store right now. I'm trying to find it.
Yes.
Yeah, so at 1:20, so about 1 hour ago, so I'm on my way to the Apple store right now to go and get it. And then he literally commented like a half hour later, I'll be home to set it up in an hour. So he he got it in like 30 minutes.
Rolex, what I would do, I would go to the store, make sure you get fitted for it, and go through the demo.
I'm going to. I have that appointment tonight or this evening.
Yep. Excellent.
And then what I'm planning on doing is, because I have the one that I pre-ordered that's going to be there, and if they have additional, I want to lock in like 3 more to hodl on, just 3 unboxed that I'm going to keep for 20 years.
Now, do you have a prescription?
I do, but when I did the thing with Apple, because my prescription is very minimal, it's like -125. They said I didn't need any optical.
You could
wear my contacts is what they said.
Take your glasses with you, and they'll measure it, and they'll give you the option of using those as well, the readers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I can just take my glasses, or do I need to take my prescription?
Nope, just take your glasses.
Oh,
so I'm going to show you a picture.
If it's readers, yeah.
Yeah. Readers.
You know, like you get like at Walgreens readers.
Oh
Can you
no,
see
no,
this?
they're like prescribed.
Can you see
Oh,
this equipment?
Yeah.
yeah.
So what they do is they take your
Lensometer.
regular eyeglass, they flip it over and put it in that machine. That machine reads what prescription you have in the Apple Store. It reads what prescription you have, and then the lady goes at the back, and they have like some of these different lenses, which is the closest fit to yours. They'll pre-fit that lens
God.
into the thing, bring
Yeah.
it out to you.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
That is
cool. So I'll do that
wild.
just
This
to
is the
have it.
machine.
And I'm assuming you can take that in and off of the
Yes.
Apple Vision Pro for
They're
other
magnetic.
Yes.
Oh,
That is
Now,
mad.
once you go,
insane.
once they measure you for the light seal and everything, it'll literally take 30 minutes. They will put it together for you. That will be custom put together. The box will be sealed, and here you go.
Oh,
So-
they put it together and they seal
Yep.
the box?
Yep.
This is
Okay,
my lens.
nice.
This is my lens.
Mr. Champ got his.
It's a whole experience, bro. You're gonna enjoy it.
This
can't
is
wait, man.
bananas.
I'm excited.
Oh my god, this is insane. I remember if you had Apple for the first 5 years that it of a company didn't do much, the stock did not do a ton, and then most valuable company in the world.
That's
Or
kind
did
of how
Microsoft just take
how I visualize Veve currently.
Yeah.
Veve's like the Apple back then when nobody really believed, and well, I
Yeah.
mean, we have a lot of believers, but there's a lot of non-believers, and then Apple just took off. But
Do they have special furniture for this thing in the store? So they have like
Yeah, we have
L-shaped-
couches.
They have
Yeah.
L-shaped
I'm screwed, man.
couches.
Oh,
I'm
well, let's put
screwed.
it this way: 45 stores have couches.
I'm screwed. I hope my
So
store does not
this-
have couches.
So
That's
this is
That's
a
it.
guy. Let me play the video for you guys. It's so funny.
At least they're not casting couches. It's just normal.
Sanjay, where'd you go? What store?
Is that North Park?
This is the North Park Mall. See this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So the guy in the blue shirt. is
Yeah,
the
but
Apple
what's so
guy. He
special
sits on
about the
one side.
chairs?
You just wait. Just wait, Rolex. I don't want to ruin it for you, bro.
All right,
Just
all right,
wait.
fair enough. Oh my God! Please don't tell me the chairs are immersive and they have like.
No.
Okay.
The Vision Pros are
We have a chair-
immersive.
Okay.
Apple Vision
Oh.
Pros are immersive. Oh, you wait. You
Oh
wait.
my God, bro! I can't wait, bro. I got 5
Yeah?
hours. 5 hours. Shit. I'm gonna try to leave early. See if I can skip line.
Do it. Hey, Merv, we did go over a little bit before. We'll do a little bit again in a bit, but yeah, you can scroll back for like the last 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and a bunch of that stuff is there.
Yeah. Hey, Randy, can you delete like the first 40 minutes and then just post only the rest of it?
Yeah.
Well, it's live, so I maybe after it's done, I could edit it.
Yeah.
But I could just put like in the description after it's done, like skip first,
People don't
35
have to
minutes.
watch 40 minutes of mostly me and a little bit of the others, stumbling around, looking for this, looking for that, trying to figure out airplanes.
It's me talking about sub 100 collectibles on Veve. Yeah.
We got to take some kind of tutorial to get set up on different things. When the
Yeah.
Viveverse happens and such.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is a
I'm
little
gonna-
tricky. It's a little tricky to share like what you're seeing. with
yeah,
others.
exactly.
It's a little tricky.
Little
So-
tips and tricks for other
We need
Veve
to get
users to
someone-
get it.
Someone from Meta to be like, hey, based on what you guys are working on, are there any things that you guys are coming out with the Quest 3 that is not on the Apple Pro? Is there any things that you didn't think of that are on the Apple Vision Pro? Yeah, I wonder how much like corporate espionage is. Be like somebody that works at Meta, be like, hey, let's have a big public firing where we get in a big argument. Word goes out to Silicon Valley that there's a rift between us. You get hired at Apple, and then you tell us all the things that you know at Apple. Like, I wonder how much that happens.
That happens.
Yeah.
But this is the future. I was telling a friend of mine literally like while we were doing this. I was in Vegas last year with him, and I was like, hey, when I was on the Lucy, this is what I saw. Like, this is exactly what I saw, and figured like we're gonna be so rich. It took a year for it to come out, but it happened.
What another
Mr. MC
really
wanted
good
you to-
use of this, especially if you fly. So you can put these on, get a pair of AirPod Pros, and you can hit that immersive. And you know what I'm talking about, Tony and Sanjay. When you hit that immersive, the whole plane will just disappear. And it'll just be the movie and the AirPod Pros pumping that out. You won't know anything that's going on. So you can make a 3-hour flight, just go like that.
So when we all go to Dubai, we could all just watch like a season of Dexter or Breaking Bad and then just talk about it when we get there.
Great.
Now, if we use Disney Plus, you could do a sync so everybody could watch the same movie all at the same time.
So cool.
Really? Oh, you can sync it. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to ask you, Kulmo. So I'm in a couple of different betas for other places as well, not just Veve. So they have the test, the test flight, right? So you have to download the app from the test flight. So, like, if I had to go and get into one of those betas, so I'd have to download the test flight into my Vision Pro. Is that available? It should be, right?
Well, there's a million iPad and iPhone apps. So I think it'll be like Veve. It may work, but there may be some limitations to it. Like we can't see the AR, like with the Veve collectibles.
Like I want to figure out how to get that. The app you can't just download in the App Store, right?
I don't know.
They've not disclosed it. Like I'm in a couple of different apps for a couple of different places. Even outside of Veve. Like I've funded a couple of startups and I've got the beta for those, right? So
yeah.
So would I search for test flight, a link?
Well, I tell you what we could do is maybe DM each other, try to figure that out. And I can do a little bit of research for you.
You put it in Safari? Is that Safari exists in the Vision Pro, correct?
Yes. It's going to be right on the home view.
Okay. And is Mail in it too? Should be, right?
Yeah.
Mail
yeah.
Yeah, Mail's there. Mail, Safari's there.
So I've not, looked at all those other non, Vision Pro apps as much. So I'll probably go into that because if, literally I want to spend the rest of my day kind of doing those betas and stuff like that. So I'll probably just try and go into my Mail, take the link, put it inside, Chrome or one of the other ones, and then download test flight in there, and then download those beta apps, and then play around in the beta. And forget the AR for a minute.
Yeah, just like you download the Veve apps, probably going to be along the same way. You're probably going to know, not everything may be compatible. They may have to update it for the Apple Vision Pro.
Okay.
Now, do any of you guys obviously have one to use? Do any of you guys have one to keep for like future investment? Like,
oh, bro, you read my mind. Just a little too pricey.
I feel ya. Merv, we kind of talked a little bit about this before. Me, I'm a believer in delayed gratification. I'll just give me $3,500. I'll just buy more OMI, and I'll get this eventually. But talk to any of these guys here, and everyone that uses it is blown away with it. Kulmo said he had people crying at the store.
So Mervin, the advice for you, Mervin, would be go to the Apple Store and do the 20-minute demo. So they have a demo.
Careful.
You don't get anything for it. Just go there, sign up for the demo, just do the demo, and they'll kind of customize that whole experience for you. Do it for 20 minutes and see how you feel about it. And then you
be careful, Mervin.
Buy it or not.
You take that demo. Woo!
Well, Mervin asked the question I answered earlier. Is it worth it? I mean, again, to me, it's like economy car versus luxury car versus sports car. They can get you places, but is the extra luxury performance worth it? Everyone's answer is going to be different on that. I mean, I got to tell you, within minutes, I had no questions about this experience being worth it to me. I mean, I was like, wow, right? This is the future unfolding. But for some people, they might say, hey, I want to wait till it gets to be like putting on some sunglasses and, it's a different place. All good, but it just all depends on what you like.
What are the insurance options on it? Like, can you break it and like they replace it? Like what?
Yeah, it's a little pricey. It's like
$4.99.
$4.99. It protects
Apple Care is $500. If you don't have Apple Care and it breaks, it's $2,400 to replace it.
It's
$2,400. I would highly recommend everybody get Apple Care.
I got the Apple Care because it does cover incidentals, and I think you can stack it with your current manufacturer warranty, so it gives you 2 years, right, Tony?
Yeah, it'll give you 2.
Yeah.
1 year, but 1 year's of incidentals. So, like your children smash it against a tile or whatever they want to smash it up against, it's covered.
Yeah, Apple Care covers for 2 years.
Nice.
So they said they told me it was $24.99 a month, so it just keeps running.
Well, I know, like with your phones and iPads, you know, after those 2 years, you can choose to go to month.
This one goes month to month, day one.
Yeah, you can
$24.99
choose
a month,
that. You could choose to pay it all up front though, as well.
and keep going.
Thank you for super chat, directly. All right, so that's good to know. Just in case you have any clumsy people, or if you have kids, or like a dog or whatever, and it goes and gets hecked up. Thank you guys for that.
Also, Sanjay, I got to tell you, you're part of the reason why I really wanted to get this. When you were talking about those golden moments, and when you sounded just like Austin Powers, man, talking about Gold, that one movie, Gold Member, and I was like, I got all the golden moments set. I got to see this. I got to see this in the best way possible.
Yeah, man.
So,
Anything that's gold, like the Elsa, especially, even within the golden moments, the Elsa is the one that's got like insane detail on it, right? The brocade, the hair, the whatever, all that stuff. So those ones are just so stunning, when you get them in like a metaverse. I don't use the
yeah.
word here, but those things are special.
Are you in the gold? Do you have the gold dragon?
I have all of it, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
see. That's such a great piece for everybody to own.
That's an amazing piece.
Gold Dragon
And then the other
Staking
things
Club.
that are
Yes.
really good.
I need more. I got 7.
The spaceships are very good because you can walk inside the spaceship. You can blow it up like 20x or 30x or whatever, and your avatar can go inside it, and you can kind of explore it. Now, not all of them have that intricate detail in the inside, but the Romulan, that one has got very insanely intricate detail on the inside too. A lot of the Star Wars crafts do too. And then the animated ones are just amazing. You just have like this freaking Darth Vader in the middle of the room. He's got a choke hold and, makes a sound. Then like Miles, Tony played the Miles kind of animation, the ultra animated one. I don't have that one, but I know the Spidey one that I have, the ultimate animated. Like those things are freaking insane, man. They're really amazing in these lands.
Sanjay Gedbus from Duo Aram says we met at Crypto XR. Sent you an email. Hope you got it.
I'll take a look.
In the comments there. Cool, Mo. You look like Bruce Almighty. Mo Almighty. Diva, I was with a lady in Vegas. I was not with a dude. I don't swing that way. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Outside of that one time at New York City Comic Con, sharing a bed with Foster, but we don't talk about that anymore. Especially now that
and a tub wasn't a tub involved with that as well.
Well, that was with Taps.
That was Taps, yeah.
Unfortunately, that was the last time he was ever seen on camera, and he's just like people blame me for his absence. We got to get. I would love to get Taps back on here. I'm sure he definitely has one. So we have. Obviously, this is really cool on this. What do you think Veve's partnership is with the HTC Vive from South Korea? Because that is another headset. That's one of the first headsets I actually used like 10 years ago.
Yeah, didn't they have some team that was working with them on some stuff?
Yeah, it was the HTC Vive. That was that company from South Korea.
Yeah.
I just don't know what that is. Like maybe that'll have, when they sell it, it'll have the app automatically downloaded on them or something like that.
It's an interesting question. I mean, my thought is for this space to get the momentum it needs to go forward, I think it's going to be very, very difficult if every developer, every platform, needs to do something. It's a big lift to kind of work on all these proprietary devices. I feel like there's got to. My hope is that certain engines like Unreal or something, that there's some standards that take hold. And yes, one device might be able to deliver more the experience based on how powerful it is, whatever. But I hope that it doesn't require the platform builders to, really do all this custom work, or that's going to really slow the progress.
I kind of look at this like, rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah.
This is going to help MetaQuest. This is going to help, metaverses all the way across, NFTs. Once people start seeing this and people start to, it's just like anything else in crypto and NFTs. It's going to be all about the narrative.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's going to hit so hard. I don't think people are really ready for what it's about to do. I mean,
I think all of us in here are.
I mean, think about it. If you had the option, like even forget every game, if you had the option to watch the World Series, like the way
Oh,
that you're able to see it, like when you do the demo, the way they show you your faces in the dugout just sticking out, and you're watching the whole, like literally, it's running live in front of you, right? Versus a screen. If you had to, go through that, if that experience was available to you and they sold you a ticket for $200, right? You would pay it, or
oh,
even like $50. You would pay it all day long because you get to sit at home, not fly anywhere, not do anything, and watch it in a very sort of lifelike manner. I mean, Super Bowl too, right? Only so many people can go to the Super Bowl. But if you had that sort of front row seat to a Super Bowl, where you pay, a couple $100 and you get to, instead of watching it on your TV, you get to, sit in that sort of special box, special seat, and it's going down right in front of you. That's amazing, man. Like I
yeah,
personally, sports, the way we watch sports and consume sports is going to change.
yeah,
And even
yeah.
if you don't do that immersive experience, even if you have it like just the whole screen on the wall with 5 screens on your whole wall with all the scores running, tickers running, and this, that, and the other.
I mean, look
The
at
stage,
what I've had behind me. Look,
Yeah.
this is how I watch football right now. You can see there's a TV there. There's a main one. There's
On
another
the
one. So I'll have Sunday Ticket running. I'm not going to need that going forward.
No.
Hey,
I'm
Randy?
just gonna be able to put on, have that all virtually. So to me, the days of people buying TVs and doing that are probably numbered.
Yeah.
If the Cardinals are in the World Series, I'm going to buy that front row box seat for you and I to watch the World Series with our Apple Vision Pro, Randy.
Oh, let's go. Yeah. We'll have a couple people there. That'll be great.
Yeah.
We're both Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals fans from back in the day. I mean, you've probably been in longer. I've only been a fan since the 90s. So when talking about metaverses, we have this, there was I don't know if this is really public. Well, the metrics should be public for the KPIs for both Decentraland and Sandbox, where you've seen in the month of January, they had a total of 1,200 NFT transfers for Sandbox and Decentraland combined, whereas Veve had over 100,000. For the volume, they had only like 640,000. Veve had like 3 million in volume. For the active wallets, they had less than 1,000 total. Veve in January, or I think in December they had 17,000. They had a bit of a dip for January, but their tokens last bull market reached a total of a combined 19 billion, 10 billion and 9 billion respectively at the peak. They have an infinite amount more of users, volume, and money that's about to go into this, and Veve hasn't even had their metaverse start yet, and it will. Even if they just match that at a $19 billion market cap, that's like what, 6 cents, just to match last bull market, and we're so much bigger. If we get to like a $30 billion market, that's about 10 cents. This is why I went really, really hard into OMI. Just because we get like, let's say 100 million in volume each day doesn't mean that we'll 100x right away, but I think that volume helps us go like 6 to 8x pretty quickly.
Well, when they drop those interest rates, there's going to be money pouring into the economy.
Yeah, we went over that. I think 0.25% interest rate.
Yeah.
Rate cut. I think about like $1 trillion. Yeah, the trillion like rips into the market just from stuff in the U.S., not including the Bitcoin or the Ethereum ETFs.
But it's such a strained economy. I mean, you got all these layoffs, but yet you've got the lowest unemployment we've had for such a long time. So, but when they cut those interest rates, that's when money's really going to, I think, start pouring in. That started the bull market and the halving.
There's also a lot of, from 2019 to now, there's a lot more millionaires, like double the amount of millionaires and like almost double the amount of multi-millionaire families that you have. So you actually have a lot more, and granted that's kind of the 1%, stretching away from the rest of everyone else, and there's a lot of political strife about that. But as you said before, like that rising tide raises all ships. Like I'd much rather be poor now in 2024 than be rich in like 1980. But like air conditioning everywhere, you have Wi-Fi everywhere, you can go and talk to people all over the world. I'm generally very bullish on it. I think we have the market melt up, but again, that's just my opinion. Not financial advice. I have to say that. What are your guys' thoughts on like this is really cool, like us doing this type of thing. There's been, not to get too morbid with this.
Look at Tony.
Yes. Is that the first one?
Tell me
Tony?
that's sealed, Tony. Please tell me that's sealed.
It's not sealed.
Oh.
But to me, the reason I got this is you only get these feelings every once in a while. And I tell you what, the last time I felt the way I do about this was when I got
Amen, brother.
this.
Amen.
That's a first. That's the Apple phone first one.
First iPhone, original box. It has been used and everything. It's not one of the sealed ones. I didn't have that level of foresight, but to me, these are the same level of game changer. In my opinion.
Yeah, I bought mine the day after it came out in Galleria Mall in St. Louis. That's how special it was to me. Still remember that.
I got mine in Dallas. You know how? And I got it because there were a couple of young guys who were flippers. They had gotten in line and they didn't want the phone, and they were like, "Hey, do you want my spot in line? Give me $100 whatever." I'm like, "Sure." so I ended up, because I was way back in the line and these were hard to get, but I did it, got it, got two of them actually, one for me, one for my wife. We both still have, but that was game changing. You look at and think about it. I said before, this device, there was no app store, right? People were complaining because you only could use web apps on it. There was a YouTube app on it though. It was before Google even bought YouTube. This camera could not even record video. People forget that. You could take crappy still photos. That was it.
And the only apps were the apps that it shipped with. There was no app store.
Unless you jailbreak it.
Right? Oh yeah, I jailbroke them. Yeah.
And the rollout was so bad with AT&T. They were basically bricks for a lot of people for the first 24 to 48 hours because the activation queue was so.
That's right, Tony. You're right. AT&T had exclusivity on Apples for a very long time, and then Apple took off, and you could only get it at AT&T. And if you wanted to get an iPhone, you had to start a membership with AT&T.
And so when you think about how quickly things change, right? That was 2007, right? And now here we are, and you put this on. Yep. Again, for me, those were, and it's not so much. Yes, the company happens to be Apple, and say what you want about them. I don't know, but there are those moments that happen in tech, and I think Apple's been behind a few big ones. I think this was a huge one. I think this is going to turn out to be, when you look back, another huge one.
Yep.
I think the most a couple of really big elements of what's so special about it, right? That's the question. Forget about killing anything, right? Like what's so special for me, at least after the day and a half, is using your eyes to look at something and it just lights up. And then your hand doesn't have to click on it. Your hand is somewhere on your lap or something, and you just keep doing this. And then you want to make something bigger, you want to make something smaller, rotate it, like just the ease to me, that just eyeball thing. And then with voice, right? If you speed it up with voice, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's a game changer for me. And then the immersive part. I mean, credit to the Oculus and the Quest 3 and Quest 2 and stuff. They all had immersive stuff. But, I'll tell you, the immersiveness of this one is next level compared to, at least personally. I mean, I don't know, Tony and Rolex maybe, or Rolex has theirs, and cool, Mo, maybe the two of you guys can comment on what you think about is the immersiveness factor. Like, man, you're right about the tears coming out, man. Like, when, what's her name? Alicia Keys. Like that scene.
Oh.
Where it's all dark.
You're never going to get that close to Alicia Keys.
No.
Like you couldn't. It's like you could have a drink with her right there if you were there. She's so close.
And it's like, it's just, she's wearing a jeans. You can see all the creases on her jeans and stuff. She walks right up to you,
checking her out.
And I'm like, she's got her hand on her piano and she's singing, and you think this whole bloody performance is for you, man. Like,
And you look over and there's bandmates over there, and they're playing along.
And the
It is
talking
next
and
level. Now, again, I only went as far as the Quest 2, not the 3. And I was impressed by what the Quest was doing in terms of the immersiveness. And I'm sure that will continue to get better and better. But the thing I think Apple leaped forward with is that very, very precise eye tracking. Like I still don't, it still doesn't seem real. Like someone, if you saw when I was in my vault, I'm literally looking at the Iron Man. I do this. I look like past the Iron Man at the Lamborghini. I'm like, let's see. Holy crap! It knew I was looking at that. It opened the door, right? And I'm like, like I'm amazed by how precise that is, and that's something I don't think anybody's close to on. Right? You still have to hold these controllers and stuff. But the fact that this thing can do that and it's finding your hands and stuff, like you don't even have to focus. Oh, I got to have my hand here or there. You're just like naturally doing it, and it finds your hands and makes it work. That to me is where I think Apple opened up a pretty big gap on the competition.
Yeah, very big gap, very big gap. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Wonder what you have in terms of. I mean, this is bringing us together from people all over the world, or at least in the U.S. There's a kind of, I don't want to say like epidemic here, but I talked about this the other day. I want your guys' thoughts on it, where you had a couple of statistics come out where it showed a lot of people are, especially like the 24 to 44-year-olds, which is a lot of what my audience is. They're, and not to get too morbid, that they're not really necessarily making it to later in life, like that they are dying. And the other piece of data that came out is that depending on what decade you were born will determine on what percentage you're likely to be married. Like if you were born in the 40s, 50s, or 60s, 90% of those people are married. Born in the 70s, like 80%. But when you get down, it's like down to the 80s. If you're born there, it's like 60% of them are married. And if you're born in the 90s, like I was, it's like 30%. So could this potentially connect people in a way where that kind of fixes that problem? Where it says, okay, we kind of can come together from far away. Or am I just kind of being a moon boy here? Just kind of dreaming?
No, well, my view on this is the metaverse could bring that in. I think the pandemic affected all of us in some way in a level of loneliness that I'll be quite frankly honest with you. I think all of us have been a hard time shaking off a little bit. This definitely can help. There's that meditation app that's on this that I used for a little bit. I mean, that was absolutely incredible. And, it is a personal device, but, the metaverse is just kind of like, it's just teed up to bring people together on that. This is how I kind of see that. So you're right on this, Randy.
You good?
No.
I think technology has reshaped the social fabric, though, in a lot of ways. And I reflect on that. I have kids now who are, I reflect back on how, like, my kids now are getting to the age like where I met my wife, who I've been married to a long time, and I think we think about like how differently the social fabric was when we met each other, like compared to now. It's totally different, right? The way young people interact, connect, or don't, and a lot of that has to do with how technology has changed the landscape. So the optimistic view is, I think with all that's happened, including the pandemic, I think the social fabric's kind of been a little bit shaken, tattered, whatever.
Yeah.
And now everyone's trying to put it back together and adjust to all these things. But I definitely think this immersive technology, this ability to connect, is making the world smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, really, right? Some of us who are in spaces a lot, think about it. We're talking to people from all over the world. It doesn't even seem like they're that far away, but I mean, literally the world comes together on those things. I think the trick's going to be, can we translate that into those next level connections? I think we can. I mean, Sanjay and I are a great example of that. We initially met each other. I don't even know how we first saw each other. I don't know. It was probably space or something. We've since met different times and connected. And, it has the potential to help us build better and deeper relationships than we otherwise would have.
Well, think about this. So Tuesday, 9:00, Sanjay invites some of us over to play, some Texas Hold'em on his yacht while the jukebox plays in the back with some jazz. I mean, hey, come on now. You provide the cigar and the beer, and it's like you're there.
Oh, that's true. We'd be
So-
like the blue glowies in Star Wars, like we're just there. Or even if we're around, but just one of us is sick, it's like, okay, well, I could at least hang with you guys from my hotel room or from wherever, and this way I don't get y'all sick.
Yeah. And let's say a celebrity comes in. Let's say there is VV verse land one day.
So it's
A celebrity comes in. Who wouldn't want to be a neighbor to Snoop Dogg? Look over the fence. Hey, what you doing? He doesn't have to worry about attacking. He doesn't have to have any bodyguards. You can have a party. You don't have to worry about any kind of security. And if he doesn't like you, he can just kick you out.
Hey, what was the movie when we met Sandra Bullock? Remember that one with Sylvester Stallone? Was it Demolition Man?
Yeah, that was great.
Remember that scene?
Yeah.
Like we could see some of that. We could see some of that.
Oh, easily.
Everybody.
I've thought about that at length because I had a podcast the other day with the CEO and the community manager of Front Fans, which is a kind of like a new way of doing like OnlyFans. They have like a token involved. They don't have chargebacks because they buy USDC before they tip the girls. So if they charge back, it charges back on USDC. It's pretty innovative. It's pretty cool. But if you have, it doesn't matter what VV versus rated. It could be G, PG, whatever, kids to adults. Once you get in your private home and that private home space, like as long as you're 18 and above, I feel like anything can happen, and that's just within two consenting adults.
Yeah.
And you could have people that don't give a hoot about Veve or OMI, and they'll just be in there, just running their, peep show. And
I want a casino, and I want like a comedy stage to where anybody can come in. You can do your comedy, and people can play cards. We can do slots. We can do whatever we want. And he charged Momi for coming in. It's just a little private party. And then I got to listen to this crap about, the Orioles.
Speaking of
I had
casino,
a couple of ideas on it, with VVverse. One is, like you can set up auctions to expire at a certain time. Let's say auctions expire between 10 and noon Eastern time. So, let's say I have in my pad, like an auction house where people show up every Sunday or every Saturday between 10 and noon. And, it's literally, I'll put up a piece which is going to expire, and, people kind of go after it and get it. And then it's like all the collectors come out, chat about and stuff. That's one. I think the kind of space like back to the class space that Emoji used to run, those are another, sort of, you have a bunch of people come sit around in an auditorium style, or, like in a, what do you call it? Theater style, right? And then you can have that type of thing going on. You can have rap battles. So the music side can go on. And then, even races. So I probably can't disclose much here, but somebody who is in the VVverse has built like a track and stands. So you can come and watch a race. So those kind
I
of
would
things.
love to see, like, imagine like on the, reliving certain memories. I'm going to mess up some of the details here, but there was, back in the day, you had, for Mario Kart 64, you had these things called time trials. And you can, it records your race, like it records your fastest time, and you could race yourself. So there was this kid that used to play with his dad, and his dad, the kid was like 6 years old. He wasn't that good. His dad always won the time trials. And he kind of forgot about it for a little while. And then like 10 years later, when he was like 14 or whatever, or 16, he starts playing it again. And then he realizes, oh my God, this is like my dad's ghost car. This is his car, his race. So he would start playing with them. If you could do that in VVverse with people, and then have like photo finishes and have that be like NFTs, and that could be its own thing, would be cool. But if you could have that in VVverse, like with somebody's, not just, okay, here's my dad controlling Mario, here's like my dad in the, in AR, doing what you guys are doing right there. Yeah. And you could actually play with them like that. That would be so insane.
And bet some OMI too, Randy.
It's not so far-fetched.
Yeah.
I mean, we see Kulmo here. I was on like that earlier,
Yeah.
that's a fully digital reproduction of him, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and in real time interacting with us. It is not that far fetched to think about what you're saying there, Randy.
And I've been thinking about, like, with the Viviverse, what if people aren't respectful? What if they, use really bad land? Who's going to police that? But if you think about it, and Randy, you said this, if you're in your private space, you invite in whoever you want.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about being with Veve is, like, I've met two of you in real life in New York Comic Con. I don't remember Mr. Rolex. Of course, I had a few drinks in me, but I definitely remember the two of you. And there's going to be a level of respect simply because of the gold logo we've met in real life, and that's going to continue. To different events and all that. So of course we're not going to be disrespectful to each other in the Viviverse in our individual spaces.
So you don't recognize Dr. Rolex because he's in a suit now, but normally with Louis Vuitton gear with his gold Rolex, and he's got Rolex has got it all. He's one of those guys who's like kind of in the office he's different, And
We call that versatility.
Yeah. You bust a move. When you bust a move, he'll recognize it.
Yeah, you got to switch it up every once in a while, man. So I do. You got to put the suit on, as we call it in the spaces. You got to have the suit on every once in a while. And then when I'm not in the suit, I'm a little different. I got to change gears a little bit. But yeah, you got to diversify.
Dr. Rolex, also the guy who he's like a hustler when he's he's got the hustle, collector hustle. He even walked up to Al Kahn and said, how much do you want for that suit?
I did multiple times. I
tell you what, Al Kahn, when I heard about that parking spot, that permit that he's got that he can park anywhere in New York, that's when you're up there.
I didn't hear about that. What
Randy, tell him all about that.
Yeah, so it was Thanksgiving. Me and Lori get invited to have like breakfast with him at the because he does the First Responders Children's Foundation. They do breakfast with the mayor every year. So we get to go there, and like right after the breakfast, we're walking past like Al's apartment, Al's place, and it's like, oh, that's Al's car. And then I see a park anywhere permit, and Lori, Queen Veve can tell you that I freaked out. I was Victoria Justice in 2010. I freaked the freak out. I was like, girl, he can park literally on the sidewalk, and people would just have to go around him. Like that in New York City, that is literally
that's crazy.
United.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Sanjay's party, he was parked right across the street, and I thought, what a lucky bastard. How did he get that part? Well, now I know how he got that spot.
How do you even get that?
Well, because he does the First Responders Children's Foundation. Like he's tight with like the chief of police. He's tight with like all the people over there. So of course they're going to give him stuff,
Yeah.
But yeah. So that I forget what we were talking about before this. So we're all cool. We're all chill. If we do get like apartments or land in the Viviverse, do you think that how like in general when you have I think like when gays move in the neighborhood, property value goes up because they're stylish and stuff. But if we have places in the Viviverse where we have a lot of cool people, and then we have like fudders come in to buy land, is that going to drive the value of our land down because we have fudders in the area? And
now we just charge them to come in.
Fudders.
We put them on stage and then we just heckle them.
I love you guys. Sorry if you hear vacuuming. My friends are vacuuming on the outside.
But let's talk about that for a second. We think about these I'll call them inflection points, and I think there's something in the human DNA. We're still all reptilian at the core and stuff, and we naturally don't like change, right? Because stability helped us survive as a species, and I think we deal with that. I mean, I remember when cell phones first hit the scene in the 90s. Again, being an early adopter, I was one of the first people kind of in my circle of friends who got one, business people. And even one guy was like, why would you get one of those? Kind of thing, right? A cell phone, right? Yeah. Sure, guy I knew, like, but it's just like, why? Like, this is different, right? And then, I told you the story about waiting in line for the first iPhone. I remember I was excited. I'm using it even at work the next day. Why would you pay that much for one of these things? Well, no keyboard and all this stuff. there's always that element of, but why? I doubt it. This doesn't make sense. But then, I don't know. What's good is good. What makes a difference makes a difference. And I think cell phones are a thing. Now, smartphones are a thing. Whatever this is going to be, spatial computing, maybe we haven't even settled on what it's going to be, but it's a thing,
Yeah.
and I think we're going to look back on this. And, I think no matter who doubts it or whatever, I just think this is one of those moments that is not going away. It may change, it may morph, we may not exactly know what it's going to look like yet, but can you imagine? This is just not going to go away. This whole idea of what this tech can do to enhance our reality. I just don't think that's going to go poof and go away. Right.
Well, Randy, when you were talking about the decades and people getting married, as we've moved up 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, more and more people are single. This is such a personal device. I mean, it hits that target right between the eyes. If you spend some time alone and you're used to being online, you're used to using your phone, this is just stepping up to the next level, and it's a very, very big step up.
Yeah, agreed. I hope it can fix things. We have some kind of declining birth rates in, I think, South Korea and I think the U.S. And the reason why the U.S. is still kind of okay is because we have such mass immigration. So even though the birth rate is not outpacing the death rate, just the immigration coming in kind of helps with that. But that could have its own consequences later on. But that's, I'm hoping this helps to kind of connect people a little more, especially of different cultures, because now you have, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of, and I know each generation says the younger generation, there's they complain about them and there's something wrong with them. And I feel like a boomer saying this. I know Gen Z is they're a little weird. They're a little.
So, Randy, the advertising that we see, right? Look, Web 2 was all about traffic. Who has the most traffic, and the ads that you run, right? Yeah. I think Web 3 is not that different. I think it's basically, instead of seeing an ad of some people doing something, you're watching a game, and there's the, what do you call it? The Ronald McDonald or whatever, the colonel with his chicken or whatever. The colonel is going to come and sit on a couch next to you, and he's going to say, "Hey, you want some chicken for the game?" And he's going to pop this thing in 3D that comes towards you, kind of thing, and then you're going to get hungry, and you're just going to have to, do this, tap your finger for the freaking chicken to get delivered to your house in 20 minutes, or pizza. I think advertising in Web3 is going to be absolutely the fucking bomb, man.
There he is. There he is.
It is going to change.
It's definitely going to be very different. I mean, you guys might have seen what I think is the sad news in the last week or so about Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, right?
Gone. And why is that? It's driven by that traditional ad model that no longer works, frankly, right? So I think, this future is coming. It's you either have to adapt or.
I've been thinking about what is Veve doing? Why is it taking a little bit longer? And here's a thought just from talking to you all right here. I mean, what if David and Dan are building an AI into the Veve verse to where it makes no difference whether you're from China, Korea, Thailand. Whenever you talk to me, it'll be in a common language, and the AI will just translate it automatically. I mean, that's Star Trek stuff right there. I saw that Star Trek stream in your back there, Tony, and I thought about the translator. I mean, this is one of the few ways that we'll be able to talk to anybody at any time and not have to worry about miscommunication. And it's going to be just almost like face to face, just like what we're doing now. It's just going to be in virtual reality.
Yeah. I mean, in Auxerre, David was talking to the European group, and he said they're working on something very big. And he says one of the biggest things in his career.
Wow. Well, that would be a life changer. That would make the news. If we could communicate in real-time translation in a metaverse, in the Veveverse.
But it was last year.
I don't think it's Veveverse, by the way, guys. 1 second.
There's a bunch of announcements coming out in the next 6 months. But last year, David was on an interview with Binance New Zealand, and some really awesome question was asked. and it was just saying like, hey, with the incorporation of ChatGPT everywhere, how do you go and you keep competitive in this market when that can do everything? And he said like, well, we plan to incorporate ChatGPT into the Viviverse. So if you don't even have to go and do much with that, you could just script it in a way. Let's say like everyone likes Vision from the MCU. We have the Vision collectible in the form of Marvel Mighty, and you can go and talk to him like one of Vivi's, sub 40s, like number 35, and you just script him to say, answer everything as if you were Vision from Marvel. And then they don't have to do anything. They don't have to pay anyone to do that. It's not just an NPC with 3 lines of dialogue. It has an unlimited amount, and it'll only get better with time. I don't know if they'd have to redo any licenses for that. Yeah, but that'll be great.
I see Bill Gardner in the chat says Demolition Man was great. It was great. That was great.
I watched that scene in Iron Man where he's building the Iron Man suit. It reminds me so much of the Apple Vision Pros.
Yeah.
When he pushes the window and Minority Report as well.
I mean, Minority Report, like those things used to seem like, we're not that far away now, right? We're not that far away now.
So,
what was that? What happens when people start having parties with Vision Pro?
The thing about
you would expect that question from
the
crazy day.
Implication is interesting. Web3 is great, right? Web3 is great. Metaverses, I believe metaverses will happen, right? And they're going to get more popular. There'll be different types of metaverses, social metaverses where people just, come to meet other people and hang out, collector type ones and, sports type ones or whatever, based on kind of gaming ones. And I think there'll be, it just instead of, looking at Facebook or whatever, Instagram or some shit, now you're inside a place and, interacting, social media becomes social interaction, I think. And I think that changes. I think that's going to happen because we're just too social. All the influencers are going to have parties in the metaverse and they're going to invite people to come in and, it's going to be cool and stuff. I think gaming changes, people just, so I think I told some of you guys this. So I met this, the guy who's president of this company, called the Joker Club. It's part of what's called as the Partouche Group in Europe. They're one of the largest European groups that runs casinos and hotels and stuff. Okay. And they were saying, look, we're so convinced and convicted that the future of gaming and gambling is in Web3 that we're going to have a whole division on it. And they've got like an $80 million division focused on gaming in Web3 and Metaverse and with all this, AR technology and, bumping phones and tapping, Pokemon Go type trading shit and stuff. So I think gaming also, that's sort of the second thing. I think part of social media gaming kind of goes in there. And it's just, and sports. I think entertainment and sports is going to change now, being more immersive. So the question for Veve, I suppose, and, for all these other things is the digital assets, what role do digital assets play in this? In any one of these scenarios, that NFT on a blockchain could be the pass with which you go in. It could be the gift that you get.
Yeah.
It could be some kind of loyalty kind of thing. It's a combination of those two. And, the question then is, does it expand tickets? I think tickets become like all, collectibles. Every ticket becomes a collectible in the digital environment. But then the question is, how much of this becomes ownership versus rental, And I think rental is maybe another form of ownership. I just think that's still an open and interesting question. I'd love to get, you guys' take on after. So we chat about all the shit, right? Like, so what? So what do you guys think about the future of digital ownership and rentals?
I think you asked a key question around, what role do digital assets play in this future that's emerging? I think that's the multi-billion-dollar question, right? Because I definitely think they play a role, but what does that role look like, feel like? I think those are where the unknowns are, and it's hard to say. But I definitely think digital assets will be meaningful in what's unfolding. Just not sure how yet.
Yeah, I think with the Apple Vision Pros, it brings that narrative definitely into play. And the thing I've always loved about the NFTs is, my whole collection's in my phone. It's on the blockchain. Even if something happens to my house, don't have to worry about it. Just got to log back in. And these are the only things you're going to be able to take in these metaverses. And I think this is going to check a lot of boxes for consumer behavior because, you're going to be able to show off. You're going to be able to show off what you got. You might be able to, like, I want to do an escape room. And, if I can charge a few OMI to go in there because the NFTs I got in there are worth looking at or whatever the experience, why not? Why not do that?
I mean, you just reminded me about what's going on with some of our most dear physical assets. I mean, the ongoing saga with CGC, for example. I mean, I've spent, they're on my wall. I've spent a good deal of money since I got back into collecting on physical assets, supposedly authenticated, verified, physical assets. I hope so. I'm looking at these lists. I hope none of the grails I bought show up on there. But then I go into my, and it's not just Veve. I go into my Veve comic collection. I go into my Candy digital collection. It's like, look, at least I know, like, those are what they are, right? Like they're, nobody had to sit there and assess those. No, that secret rare is one of whatever, and there's only this many of them. This is the mint number. Nobody in a back room kind of secretly made another label with that same mint number that somebody's got. Like, and this is going on with some very valuable physical assets as we sit here. And I'm like, whoa, I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that, on the digital side.
Well, also think about digital assets. We're kind of like talking about investments here, but there's going to come a day when all your health records are going to be on the blockchain.
Yeah.
And that's your information. I mean, Randy, you've talked about real estate. You've talked about many things like that. So, go ahead and finish that if you want, because that's great.
Well, I mean, just to piggyback off that idea, you already have places like, not IMUC, I forget what it's called, Illumina, ILMN, where for CRISPR, the company that, can change your DNA, or they can change your unborn child's DNA, and that gets a little squirrely because you kind of choosing how tall your kid's going to be, what color eye your kids are going to have. But, where do they store that data? That data is stored with a company called Illumina. They're the ones that do the tests. That's basically storing your, people get upset like, hey, Facebook's stealing my cookies or stealing my data. You have these companies already that are storing your medical data, which are infinitely more valuable. That eventually at some point will be on the blockchain. But why I really like a lot of the digital stuff is because in 2021, after I got that trophy Kangaskhan card, like one of the most expensive Pokemon cards, at the planet at that time, I didn't bring it to my home. I went straight from New York City with 2 armed escorts to a bank on Long Island, where I put it in the safe deposit bank, and because it was $250,000 card, I didn't want to have it in my house, especially where at that time I didn't really have all guns with me. So you can get insurance on that, which I did, but you can for these you don't have to worry about that. You can kick your phone out a window. Your NFTs are fine. Kids can mess with them, they're fine. Maybe they accidentally sell them. But one of the things that I think Veve could really capitalize, and I've talked about this before, is they have a closed ecosystem right now, but if they go and they offer like, hey, we understand sometimes things happen, and now in the greater Web3 area, wallets get drained, we're here to offer NFT insurance. Why does Tesla have $30 billion in the war chest? Probably because they're one of the most disruptive companies on the planet, but also because they have their own insurance. They have their own insurance, and they'll never have to pay out. Most people, in general, I think they crash every like 200,000 miles. Teslas without any safety features on, just the drivers, they crash every 400,000 miles. With all the safety features and full self-driving, one crash happens every 1.6 million miles driven. If you have people that are just scared, they're like, hey, God forbid something happens, there's a solar flare, whatever, my NFTs are insured, floor price, whatever it is, they'll pay $20 a month for that. And if Veve gets that for everybody, that all of their users, when they have hundreds of thousands or millions of users, maybe they get a fraction of that, something that they'll likely never have to pay out for. That could be like easy, tens of millions of dollars per year.
Yeah.
I don't know if they really need to do that right now. Again, they don't need to do that. They're fairly flush with cash. But there's so many options for Veve to go and just make so much money hand over fist.
Yeah. Hey, Randy, real quick, I see people in chat are asking about the OMI to MCP. Yeah, how many for 10 million? I think it's about 1,700.
You get for
If you're just looking at what your OMI gets you if you max it out.
you get like 650.
Yeah, it's like 650. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
But it is on a curve because 1 million
Yeah.
does get you about 75, and then 10 million gets you us like 650. So and there is a little bit of a curve on it. It's not exactly.
Sanjay, maybe you can check because I think because I get more than that and I don't have quite 10 million. So
Well, I know when MCP kind of went haywire earlier this week, I saw what it dropped down just from my totals and my collectibles, and the difference was just like Randy said, around 650. But again, I think that can change based upon everybody's wallet.
Yeah,
amount.
who's coming in?
I'm just saying, depending on how
I
much
just
you
checked.
buy in that day, how many points you get for all these
Or,
purchases.
I mean, the Veve web wallet does tell you how many you
there's
got
two.
just from the OMI.
Yeah, I just checked.
Yeah.
On OMI, I get 665 per day.
There you go.
And the rest is from activity and all that. So that'll, but and that can change depending on how many people have OMI in there and how much they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think for Master Collector, what do you need? Like 750, 8?
Something like that. I
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So you get most of that just by
I get
staking
about
OMI.
1,000 daily.
Yeah,
that
most of that
number's going to
is
keep going up because I think the Master Collector is a percentage. There's only so many wallets that can be Master Collectors.
Top 3%, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wherever that cuts off, so if more and more people become Master Collectors and keep buying more, that cutoff keeps going up because it's a daily calculation, right? You're not a Master Collector forever. You're a Master Collector for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
based
what
on
people are going to do with bronze tickets. If there's going to be some drops that are really like I think Todd McFarlane does this, where only people that have a certain amount of points or whatever they're able to access drops. They're going to do that with Veve. And if you're not a Master Collector, but now when the clock back 2 years ago, you only knew about a drop 2 days before. They told you 2 days before, and then the next day, 24 hours later, before the drop, they had that Medium article. Now we know about drops literally like 7 days before. So now people will go and like, okay, I can use some of my OMI points or my OMI tokens. I'll buy these bronze tickets and I'll use those bronze tickets to redeem more MCP points to make me Master Collector for this one day, for this one drop. It'll be like Chewbacca, Yoda, like any of these big characters. That I feel like people are really underestimating the amount of tokens that are just going to be burned just for that, just for those drops.
Yeah.
And also you have in the top 500 wallets, again, a year ago, you needed like 800 NFTs. Now for the top 500 wallets, you need to have 1,352 collectibles between NFTs and comics. So that is getting whales are going hard.
So thoughts for use cases on bronze tickets?
MCP points. You'll use the bronze tickets for MCP points, and that'll make a Master Collector. And then also you're going to have
get
stuff.
some not just points, right? You get bronze ticket will be used to get collectibles, right? So you bid on certain collectibles with your bronze tickets. My sense is that they're going to start dropping some super, sexy stuff. Like they drop Captain America 1 or Captain America 3, and you need, like you get free. Yeah. You can get a freaking secret rare with like 5 bronze tickets, and you can get a drop allocation. Meaning it's still blind, but with one, like, God damn it, everybody's gonna show through the bronze tickets.
I mean, have you guys tested the MCP bidding?
Yes.
Yeah?
I have not. I'm so close to level 50 that I don't want to burn anything. I'm like 9 days away.
I'm curious what you guys think about the way they designed that so that you can bid, but you're bidding kind of blind. Like you don't know if you've bid enough to get into that 40% or not. And I guess that's on purpose to kind of create bidding anxiety, I guess. But I wish
you lose it too, right?
Well, if you don't get selected, you don't lose it. So that's good. If you do get selected, then you don't buy, you lose it.
Yeah.
But to me, I guess, I'm sure David thought through this. I guess they want to create that anxiety of, well, should I bid more? Because they don't tell you if your bid got you there or not.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I think what's going to be interesting is the big drop that's going to burn all these MCP points to where everybody's going to be pretty much leveled out. And then what the reaction is going to be when you have somebody that's got million plus MCP points that does get the drop. I mean, I feel like they earn that right, but not a lot of people are going to see it that way.
I mean, you have Veve and Okomi have been just absolutely hammered people with pitchforks when they go and they talk about stuff, and then they they don't deliver for X amount of time. So they've clearly learned that lesson. Foster talked about that on stream, I think on Veve Magic stream like not too long ago, and when they rolled out last week or on the 25th of January, hey, here's an OMI token update, and you have improving accessibility to the token, OMI to NFT and all that, and OMI rewards. They're not going to go and roll out the MCP points like they did. They already did it fully. We can use them on every single drop now. They're not going to roll that out unless there's going to be a way to refill those points. Because if you go 6 months down the line and there's no way to refill those points and roll like Jones and for them, that there'd be riots. People would.
That's where the bronze tickets come in.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I've done a couple of polls on how much people will go and use them for, like for the Star Wars drop on Sunday. Half of the people are not going to use points at all. 20% of the people will bid the minimum of 5K. 17% will bid between 5 and 10K points. And there's a couple of people that are just like, listen, I'm on the hype train. They're bidding 10,000 points plus. And that's just for that. When you have, I did another one for Dragon Ball Z, saying like, hey, we might get this at some point. If we did, because we know anime is coming, how much would you go and spend? And there, 23% of those people said they would spend $500 worth of OMI, like in order to secure that. So just transitive property, they'll spend lots of MCP points.
I was thinking about the Star Wars drop on Sunday. If this doesn't prove that Veve's not a rug pull, I don't know what does. They could have put 20,000 stormtroopers out there, and it would have maybe taken 3 months to sell them all, but they would have sold every single. I thought, man, what a bold move to have that small a number for those stormtroopers.
Well, they still
the number to watch though is the amount of money, cash going into the app today.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what happens is, most people don't just leave a shit ton of money in the app, right? So if you see a big chunk of money going into the app, like certainly 200,000 in a day, 300,000 in a day, the day before the big drop,
Yeah.
that something's going to pump in that drop. Like there are bloody fools who are going to stack it like you cannot believe. And I can tell. Every time there's a big drop, whether it's X-Men 1 or one of these other things, I look at how much inflow the previous day.
Yeah. Also think about this. If they would have put 20,000 out there and people would have come into the app based upon this drop, and then their stormtrooper would have been worth $4 the next day, how many people would be upset about that? But to keep it a low number, you're going to keep that value up, and that's what people need to see. That's what's going to start changing the narrative. It's not a cash grab. It truly is a collectible app,
Yeah, I mean, well,
one thing they have to figure out though, Randy, sorry, really quickly. One thing they have to figure out is if you bid all these points and you get selected for the drop and you get a common, like a $6 common, that kind of leaves like a very sour taste in the mouth. Man.
Yeah.
There has to be a thing where if I put more than a certain amount of points, man, at least give me a freaking rare.
Yeah.
There's got to be some criteria there, man.
There's
that's going to be a big thing for comics. Sorry, Randy, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. They could still do that with the stormtroopers, because these are the scout troopers that they have. That's going to be kind of interactive with the speeder. The stormtroopers are a different thing, so they still could do something that's high mint and very low, a low amount of money, and they could still make a whole bunch of money.
That's
that
true.
way.
That's true.
And they can do that with a bunch of them. They could have the heavies. They already have the scouts here, and they have a bunch of different types of battle droids. They could have the destroyers. There's an infinite amount of things that they can do. But when you talk about like scarcity and stuff like that, we just had the Black Lagoon, the Homer Simpson Mac on deck drop. The people really didn't care. Not that they didn't care. They didn't care if they just got the ultra rare, because the ultra rare is still cool. But they were gambling for that secret rare, that one of 16.
Yeah.
And now it's, and again, spent $50. The chance that now they had a $7,800 sale for that. You know, there's one out there for $3,600 right now. That will likely go down a little bit lower once people get the physicals, once they can redeem the physicals, and then that'll likely go lower. But you know, just to have that, I spent $50. I got $7,800. Why?
Yeah.
More stuff like that will continue happening.
I think makes sense, man. I think the other thing is, you know, like I'd love to see more groups getting formed, like real groups. Like with the gold logo thing, Randy, you know, one of the thoughts that I have is, look, the first one was just a party in New York the first time around. The second time around, it was a party with a lot of gas and, you know, a lot of the other stuff, some merch and stuff. So for the next one, my thought process is, I'm basically going to invite a VVIP artist where I'll prepay, you know, for a couple of commissions, right? And they'll kind of be at the party and they'll draw and paint and whatever else, and then we'll do an auction of that work, you know. And so, you know,
Wow.
if the artist that I want, I can get, like if she you know, if she agrees to kind of these commissions at a good price. Now, you know, you've got that visibility, there's a lot of people, and then you kind of keep the event, you know, contained in size. So it does require a certain degree of access to come in. So to me, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, would create like super high visibility for not just the group, but also for Veve, you know, overall.
And for the artist, it's great for the artist.
Yeah.
For the artist too, man.
Because the artist that gets to go in there is not going in there with just like fanboys. The artist is going in there with a bunch of high net worth, high networking individuals.
Yeah.
So like, for example, there's always a bunch of people like that, but I do this thing like Whale Week. We did one in August in Maine, and you know, it's pretty successful. The next official one that's on it right now will be the week of New York Comic Con. So and that's essentially what we kind of had last year, not 2023, 2022. And that's how, I guess I'll tell a story real quick. We had 2 different one-of-ones where you could have lunch or dinner with David. One was in DesignerCon that year, which my friend Ernie won for the Gary Baseman, and then Dr. Prophet had won the one-of-one for New York Comic Con. And he's like, hey, I'm gonna take you and Foster. Who else should we take? I was like, well, I have a bunch of people coming in. You know, we could have this whale dinner the night before, and we could determine like whoever would be most useful to Veve. We'll bring them in for that dinner. Wound up being Greg Schultz, who's President Biden's campaign manager. Figured that would be very useful to Veve. And you know, we can do something like that this year, where Whale Week is literally going to be the week of New York Comic Con. And Sadia, if you would do it, I'll make sure they get gold. Most of them that'll be there will have gold and silver logos anyway.
Are going to have to, brother, because this one's going to be super limited, you know. So my also thought process is there'll be like a couple of art pieces for auction that the artist does live, and you can watch the artist doing it live and all that other good stuff. And a lot of people who buy the one-on-one artworks are in any case in that group, so it'll be there. But then also, you know, to like last year was just this hat that I did with the mint number and shit, right? So the thought process this year will have the artist, you know, like it's like a collab, right? It's for an event. So every guest gets a certain gift, you know, which is something, you know, physical and digital, small, because, you know, obviously be for 200, 250 people, maybe 300, right? At the most. Yeah. So anyway, we'll see how we do that, man. Like that for me is also very high on my agenda, you know, this year to kind of get done, Randy. To take that gold logo. Now we have like almost 206, 207 people in that group, and just take it to the next level. So I'm actually going to meet David and Dan when they come to Austin. You know, they're speaking. You know, it's a very expensive event to go to, but I live right next, like 2 hours away from there, so I'm scheduled to go. But that's one of the things that I'm going to ask them and say, look, guys, I need your help with this to set this up in this manner. And see what they say. And even if they say no, screw it, I can do it myself. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. I can plan this thing myself, right? Get it done. But yeah.
Any chance we could get maybe gold and silver polos this year in New York Comic Con?
Yeah, no problem at all. I mean,
Start working our way
first of all, I
down.
need to get the hat to everybody in Europe as well, because I did it only for the New York guys. I
We
don't
already
have
have
one
both.
with the
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have this bunch of stuff. So first thing is I need to get this hat because I don't do shipping and shit. Like I'm not a merch guy. I mean, I just did it because we're going there and all got delivered in New York, so I didn't have to handle any logistics. But I will figure that out. I mean, I might hire somebody to do the logistics at cost and get hats out, and then immediately after that, I'll focus on polos this year for the event.
Sanjay, I might be able to work with you on maybe some print-on-demand stuff.
Okay, I'll reach out to you. DM. We can chat. I mean, the hat obviously has to be similar to the, this version. You don't want people to have different versions of it. So there's
Right.
one vendor. But the logistics, I might need some help with. Anyway, more to come on that.
Might be able to help you there.
Yeah.
The Veve Magic still has she still has my hat. I accidentally left it with her. I'll get that at some point.
I lost half my stuff at that last bar we were at, and I forgot who it was. Hit me up on the logo and got it all back to me. But I had a signed David Yu shirt from Danny the Bull. I had some swag that I had with me, and how I got all that back, I don't know. It was almost like a miracle. My jacket and everything.
So I have, the hat, gold logo hat for at least a couple of your buddies, Randy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so basically, I have hat number 142, which is one of your friends.
Yeah.
I have hat number 397, which is another one of your friends, and I have 468, which might be yours. So it may not be Veve Magic. I might have it.
Oh, okay, then yeah. Let me see if my other one's 468. I don't know if it is.
Yeah.
I know the 41 obviously is.
But the 41 Magic might have. But one of the other hats I have, and then both of your friends, I still have them here at home.
Yeah, 468 is mine. Yeah, we were streaming one day and she was wearing it. I was like, hey, that's my hat. but yeah, the 468 is mine as well. That's the other one I have.
I got it. I'll give it to you when we meet next.
Cool beans. His name is cool beans. So yeah, any
nice.
Good stuff. I love this fam. We have the South by Southwest. We know that they're gonna do. They had the option to go to this place called WC3, it's the Web3 conference over in Orlando. They are not doing that. David has said we're booked for 2024. So apparently they have multiple events already booked. I don't know what they are. I'm hoping San Diego and New York again. But I would love it if they would go to D23. They would go the Disney version of Comic-Con. That'd be great. What are your thoughts?
Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, where do you want them to go?
I hope they keep the Comic-Con string going. I think those are big. I kind of was sad they didn't go to DCon this last one.
They will in 2020. Well, they will this year. Well, officially, I don't know if they will, but it's in Vegas, so most people can go.
So they're making a big announcement with Marvel in March in South by Southwest. It's unlikely that they're not going to go to Comic-Con, right? The hell, you got a big announcement, then you don't go.
I hope so.
So that one I think feels and it's pretty big too. I mean, I think San Diego Comic-Con is another one I've never been to, but I know it's pretty big. I have tickets for only 2 of the days. I know Dr. Rolex has all 4. Mahalo.
It's wild.
It's wild. I haven't been to it, but I've been in San Diego. I was there for something for business when Comic-Con happened, and I was like, oh, it's big.
Would you go? Would you go this year, Tony and Randy?
I would. Yeah.
Depends on what OMI does. Depends on what I'm doing. Depends on a couple things. But you have if you guys run into Wet Wizard, who's a San Diego professional, it goes there a lot. Don't if you have the San Diego juice, just drink one of them, because I remember most of that night up until the San Diego juice, and then the next thing I know, I'm in a country bar, and I'm chest bumping all these women because they want to chest bump me with my Squishmallow bodysuit on.
I remember seeing those pictures.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was I would go. But again, I'd have to see where OMI's at and everything.
I'm curious what you guys all think. I remember when we first anticipated, what we were looking for Veve to do at these events. There's a lot of discussion about, onboarding users and all that kind of stuff. I'm wondering, how important do you think those kind of things are for actually onboarding users versus maybe just visibility? And are there other tactics needed to really onboard people? That's kind of what I've been thinking, but curious if you guys think that.
And first thing I would say is, I think the best strategy for Veve today is to bring back some of the older users. There were so many hundreds of thousands of users on Veve who Veve disappointed. It's on Veve. Like the blame lies on Veve, right, for disappointing them, for delays and stuff like that. So I think Veve should sort of, very publicly say, look, after they get their shit together, right? There's more stuff going on. Let's get this OMI thing going. Let's get this other Veveverse going. Let's get OMI to NFT. Let's get a few of these things going.
Yeah.
And then, let's have David and Dan kind of publicly say, look, over the years we've disappointed a lot of our former users. We'd love to have you back. Let bygones be bygones. We've got our shit together. Come back in. And
So you think it's like that re-recruitment of the
and say sorry with it too, man. Say fucking sorry, because there were delays that are crazy delays and stuff. So come right out. Show up hat in hand. And bring these people back in. And when that happens, automatically more people will come in, man. I think that by itself, and just starting from a position of being very humble, very sort of candid about what's not worked and all that stuff. I think David's call to OG Vault was a very good kind of a step in the right direction. He's got a wild streak, and he goes off, and like there's some problem on the other side for sure. But what David did there was a very good thing, and I'd like to see a lot more of that. After things fall in place.
Like him or not, he's family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's family.
A lot of people too.
Good way of thinking.
Yeah,
well,
he's done a lot of good.
I learned a lot about drops from him.
Exactly.
Back when you had to do all that stuff to get drops.
I wouldn't have that secret rare Iron Man comic if it wasn't for him. So
I wouldn't have my Aston Martin after all that 44-minute chaos without him. But the other thing though is I think about my experience at these Comic-Cons. Yes, I was there mainly because Veve was there, but that's the first time I really heard about this company called Whatnot. Right? And that one, it was not the last Comic-Con, but the one before. They had a massive and I'm like, what is that? I didn't go over there and like on board with them right then, but it planted a seed. And I'm like, oh, what is that? I start talking to people, and then I'm home, whatever. I get on, I'm seeing all these live auctions, and now I'm a big Whatnot like user, right? So sometimes it's not like who went over to the booth and did something right then and there, but it's building that awareness, that exposure that then over time translates into committed users. So I hope people don't think too short-sighted. I went to the event, I only signed up this many people, that didn't do it. Well, sometimes it plants the seeds that turn into that down the road.
I think it's going to be like a well-rounded marketing campaign. You got the exposure, at the cons. You're going to have people that's going to come in. Like I came in because of Disney, of Golden Moments, that Golden Moments week. How many people did that bring in? I mean, Randy, you were here. That's when I started. When we get, if we get things like Pokemon and things like that, that's just naturally. And people I think are going to remember, I saw them at Comic-Con. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that logo. And the more little places like that, Twitter, what pops up on Facebook, things like that, I think the more people to see it, the more that people are going to feel comfortable and start to dip into this, because especially if we can do things like, I always wanted to be able to give a gift card to where you could give a gift card for Veve bucks or gems. I get gems, and
you'll likely have that at some point showing up in 7-Eleven. As far as the first off, thank you, Ernie, even though you are wrong when say Cardinals are not going to win the series. Thank you for the super chat.
There's always hope.
So the Comic-Cons, you're right, they don't at the time, they don't onboard even a bunch of users, but the couple hundred, but even the ones that are onboarded, Like I signed up in like February of 2021. I was really on OMI. I didn't really buy any NFTs until a couple months later. What I really think is going to go and build a lot of these users, just from what Veve's doing, not including the narrative change, but from what Veve's doing is you had, well, I guess we'll start with Marvel. I've had this theory before, and I think it kind of confirmed it when David said this. Like last year, one of my streams, I asked David, "Hey, you have these QR codes that appear in She-Hulk and Moon Knight and going soon to be the Daredevil Born Again series. You could pause it, you could scan the QR code, and you get a comic from Marvel Unlimited." And thank you, Clever Jerk. I love that dude. He's the man. You know, would we ever be able to get something like that, or the QR codes can get a comic on Veve? And he just said, like, I'm gonna pretend you didn't ask that question. Like, okay, well, what about so could that be one of those things that they're doing at Marvel South by Southwest? Like maybe they're going and taking some of the Marvel Unlimited app and trying to gear it towards Veve. I think that would really help. One of the other things that has not been officially announced by Veve, just David going and posting it on his Instagram, was the Alibaba partnership, where you have a couple of people that's just like, oh, I know what that is. Yes, they're just going to use, the AWS, similar to what Amazon. Like they're not going to have a memorandum for like, $600,000 a year. They're doing this for a multi-million-dollar business deal, in my opinion, where they go and in China, you have to pay the man. Even Disney Shanghai, they only own 41% of their own park. China owns the other 59%. So how do you go and get a big business in there? Okay, well, if you have the Alibaba partnership, where Alibaba is already well connected through the government, and they're the ones that could help onboard, fiat and crypto users all throughout the East. That's going to be majorly huge, and other companies will not be able to do that because they don't have that partnership. Those are going to be the major ones, and then again, just hype. All the fudders, all the people that are still here, like trolling on every post, they'll be back. They'll make new accounts and be like, oh yeah, I'm just been on the sidelines. I just never said anything, good or bad. They're going to come back because they still love Veve. That narrative just has to change. And then you just have the FOMO. I mean, last time you had Logan Paul and BitBoy and other stuff, someone might have paid for that. But that influencer marketing is why Mr. Beast created a $1 billion like burger business, even though the burger, was pretty not good. The chocolate bar, I've had it. It is not good. And why is it the biggest chocolate bar in America? It's the biggest chocolate bar in America because he has 1 billion followers. You have Barstool that went and bought, or I'm sorry, that gaming institution that bought Barstool because they're a content creator company. When you have so many content creators, especially you have those referral code programs, that is what's going to blow your business from $1 billion to tens of billions of dollars. I feel like I've ranted for a while, so that's my rant. This is why I'm all in on OMI.
Hey, there you go. Hey, I see Sleepin's here. Sleeping Comics. There he is. There he is.
Yeah, people use it. People use Whatnot a lot.
I do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, people say it's not good because it's an addiction.
Whatnot is bad news. Well, yeah.
They raised a lot of money though. They're funded. They're very well funded.
I mean, it's interesting concept for sure. And you extend that, like, it's not hard to imagine these immersive environments where, these live auctions and stuff are going on, not just on the Whatnot site, but in these environments that we're seeing coming together. Not hard to imagine. We're not far away.
I think it's interesting. We still don't have a community manager. I think they're being very, very careful about that.
Yeah.
The thing about when David gets on and does a live stream, what people don't understand, and there's just no way around this. David cannot know everything there is to know. Okay. Yeah. He's working on multi-million-dollar deals with Alibaba. He's over in Japan. He's doing whatever he needs to say. I mean, they were just over in France. He just cannot know all the details. And so people get on those streams and they're like, well, how can he not know this? Well, yeah, if you're looking at Veve stuff every single day from content creators, you're going to know it, but David's not necessary. So I really like what Mona said after he was on her stream, because there was a couple of things, and she kind of put people straight and said, you have no idea what he's doing and what he's accomplished, so you just can't know it all. That's good leadership. You rely on your advisors and you hire people to, become experts in this. And I don't know why I'm looking up, but
she'll have David on again on the 29th. With someone from Cryptoys and someone from somewhere else. So that's the next time we'll see him on an event, unless he comes on one of these at some point. I would love to do.
What a great addition to the community she's been, by the way.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She'll be on the podcast at some point too. She's fun. We're just gonna wait until after David goes on her podcast and then she'll come on. So that'll be fun. He could come on one of these at some point for the community manager. I would hope that they do use the best person possible. But they likely try to find someone from another Web3 project that maybe doesn't know the company as intimately as maybe Foster does. But at least that, quick to learn. I feel like it's not too big of a daunting task to try to get familiar with Veve. Should be pretty easy.
You're not telling Randy? Did you get the job?
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, who got the job?
Yeah.
I didn't get the job. No, I also, for me to go and offer, be like, hey guys, me and Veve FanBam will be co-community managers. We'll split the salary. 25% of what I get, I will immediately put back into the Veve and Nakomi ecosystem. I promise not to do any cash outs while I'm co-community manager. If I can go and do all of that and promise like a 10% bump in new active users every month, and they still have not hired me, they must really not want to hire me. So I would say
you're too valuable in your current role. That's why.
Randy, you're already a community manager, Brady, for free, so they don't need you.
Yeah. You're kind of working for free, Randy. You have been for a few years now. We owe you a lot. That's the reason I bought you a few drinks.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone bought me drinks. Did y'all have like a plan? Everyone was buying me drinks that whole weekend.
Sleeping says he applied, but they told him he was too mature.
Randy, you're kind of like Derek Jeter. You'll never buy another drink in New York.
Yeah, that's true. Sleeping, I don't know if you guys, Sleeping was on the stream like at some point last year. And I knew Sleeping was older, he has kids, but I figured, he was like in his 30s. And then until he had mentioned like that he saw Empire Strikes Back in theaters, I was like, wait, you saw it in theaters? And I was like, Sleeping, how old?
Well,
I did.
I saw Star Wars in theaters and I was 12. So if that I'm 58.
Yeah.
So you talk about the perfect age for that movie.
Yeah.
And there was no social media back then. I found out about it because they were talking about it on NBC News. That's how my friends and I found out about it.
And all you could do is go back to the theater.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you could do. You saw something on the newspaper, and that's about it. There wasn't any social media. I mean, it was just word of mouth.
There's no home video on it. I mean, I guess they might have had beta at that point, but they.
No, it was
before. There wasn't anything like that.
I remember the first time you could like get the video. It was like magic. Like, oh my gosh, yeah I can see Star Wars, because you were limited back then. All you could do was try to go to the theater.
Listen, if you didn't see it in the theaters, it was gone. It was never going to be on again. It was gone.
It was done.
That sounds like the Wild Wild West.
It's crazy to imagine.
The only thing you could count on was Wizard of Oz being on once a year.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I've got right here though?
VHS player. Tell me, Tony, you got a VHS player.
Oh.
Now these are sealed. These are sealed. These are laser discs.
Oh, those laser discs.
Wow.
Versions of the first.
Oh, bro.
Do you have an LD player too?
Oh,
I don't even have the player, but I've got sealed
Wow.
laser discs of all the of the first.
That. Oh my God.
That's pretty amazing, man.
Those never took. Those laser discs just never took.
They never did, but they're cool to have, and they're in the shrink wrap. Never opened.
And you used to go to those.
You might want to buy a player, Tony, just to have
I'm
one.
tempted.
You used to go to those.
You know how many times I bought these movies though, from videotapes to DVDs to laser discs to everything.
But you had to go in those TV specific stores because there wasn't any Best Buys or anything like that. So you had those stores that just did like entertainment devices and speakers and stuff like that.
Ooh,
Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Sealed. This is my. I think I have Johnny Dunn to blame for that because Johnny Dunn was like, "Yo, you should buy this," and I was like, "I bet." And this was my only sealed VHS copy that I have. It was like $20, and it's like one of my favorite movies.
Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, you know they were burning one on the back porch. They were always wanting Scooby snacks. There had to be something. They just fell into crap all the time, didn't they?
The things that people do with some of the lore with that is
there we
insane.
go.
Ooh,
First edition.
That's the fake Paul picture right there.
Sanjay, you don't have to answer this, but like, how rare is that, and how much is that to get? Like, if I would want to buy one right now.
Not that much.
Okay, well, let me know.
Maybe $1,000.
Okay.
Maybe $1,000. Yeah. Because it's not in great condition, you know. But it's cool to have. I don't know. There's that many of them. You know what I mean?
I stared at hours on that Sgt. Pepper's cover when I was a kid. It was such a cool cover. There's so many hidden Easter eggs in that cover.
I do miss that, being able to go and like that was a date back in the day. Like, hey, you want to listen to the new Good Charlotte CD? Yeah. Like, that was so cool. I miss that.
So, yeah, sometimes, you know, you just get lucky with some things. I'll show you guys one more piece, you know. This one's interesting.
If Sanjay starts drinking, he's going to start giving things away.
I did a lot of that with Danny the Bull.
Where's that wine at, Sanjay?
So you see this piece here? So this is Betty and Veronica #1.
Oh
so
my God.
Rian Gonzalez is a very
Is that from Archie?
good kind of artist, comic cover artist. And she's very young now, right? Still. But her, whatever agency was selling her work, just listed some of her, you know, the preliminary sketch before you do the main comic cover, like for $100 each or something like that. This turns out was the first comic that she's ever done, and it's the prelim sketch for that. And I got it for like $100.
Is that that's Betty and Veronica? Is that like as of the Archie comics?
Yeah, so her first comic that she did was Archie Comics, and she did a Betty and Veronica one, and so this is basically the prelim sketch for that first cover.
Wow!
So it's her first piece, and she's getting more and more famous now. You know.
All right,
let's see that, Randy. Let's see what you got there.
Something framed.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna. It's really long, but
we'll. The Alex Ross.
Yeah.
Oh! I've seen that.
That is insane.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Holy shit!
Wow.
That's amazing, Randy. That's a beautiful, beautiful piece. And what mint number is it?
It is. I think it's number 41.
No way.
Wait, let me see, and I can show you.
Yeah. I think we were in New York together when you picked that up. I remember
going and be like, "Hey, do you have number 41?" And
wow,
yeah, so it's on there somewhere.
Yeah, that's 41.
Wow.
So I'm hoping that if we
well played, Randy.
Alex Ross on the app, and this actually comes out, I will be set for life.
Because you know that 41 wasn't a special mint to anybody but somebody in Veve.
I know. That's why it was still available.
41 has become.
Hey, but if Veve takes off, you know that 41 becomes special, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was at San Diego Comic-Con in 2022. That's like outside of my.
Who you got there, Tony? Let's see it.
Yeah, outside of my Steve Cannon. That's my pride and joy.
Oh, there we go.
Epic.
Sleeping.
Sleep. So, I do have at some point in like a few minutes. I got a dinner I got to get to. I got to shower. I got to shave. I can't go to this whale dinner looking like caveman terrorist. Any lasting thoughts? Final thoughts for the 3-hour podcast we've had?
Man, first of all, thank you. I just want to say, let's remember these days. I really go back to what I said. Like, it reminds me of what happened here, and it'll be interesting to see what comes. But thank you for hosting this. I think this will be a memorable reflection point for all of us.
Yeah, thanks, Sanjay, for the idea. I didn't even think of doing this. This was great.
Yeah, thank you, Randy. You know, Tony and I and Rolex were on a small chat this morning, and I said, look, it'd be really great to, you know, have a stream on YouTube instead of Twitter Spaces or X Spaces, where we can actually show people the experience. And, you know, even if we're able to show it on a television screen. Sorry, it didn't work out very well. In the morning, we struggled for almost half an
Nice.
hour, 40 minutes to kind of get it going. But it's just great. It's such an epic moment, this whole experience, and to share it with the Veve fam, for them to see how does the Veve app look inside the Vision Pro when we airplay it onto the television screen. And then also when you play with them in the vault, and what works and what doesn't work, how does it look, comics, and you read it, what's the quality. I mean, that's what we want to do today, and hopefully people kind of got to see some of it. But yeah, man, this is an epic time for us, and super excited. Thank you, Randy. Thank you for hosting us, and thanks
Cool.
Ulmo as well, and Rolex.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for letting me come on, talk to y'all, give some thoughts, things like that. I think I completely agree with what Tony and Sanjay said. I think this is kind of the beginning of a new era, not only for spatial computing, what we talk about, but Veve as well. I think we're all starting to see this vision is starting to become a little bit clearer. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and guess what? It's not another train. It's going to be just a very bright future for all of us. So I really look forward to seeing everybody in the Veve verse and so on. So I hope to talk to you all again. But thanks a lot, Randy, for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Of course. And on the last note, obviously Rolex, who's I guess he's trying online to try to get a headset right now. And I guess Pags is kind of setting it up. I love doing these things. I'll do these things forever, as long as I can. But there are some times where I will be trying to search something on my phone, and the search is in the top right bar. I'll get a notification that pops up, and I hit the notification. It's like, oh God, no, I can't think about it. I have to do this right now. And it'll say I opened it. It'll say I read it, even though I didn't. So if that happens to anyone, and it says I read it, please message me again, because that happens way too often, and I feel like I'm not leaving you on red. Just I just hope you guys know that. And then thanks you guys for everyone being so nice. This is going to be, we have a lot of good times ahead. Like I said, a lot of crazy fun announcements. And like Tony said, we should really remember these moments. Like these are the good old days. I know that the better days are coming when we're all rich AF, but these are exciting. And thank you all.
Bye.
All right. Huzzah. All right.
Have a good one, all.
All right. Bye, guys. Meow.
Bye-bye.
Meow. And Sanjay was out of here. He was out.